Okay, I think we're back. The cat's vet visit went well. He's doing good. He's been recovering. Still wearing a cone, though. Hopefully he doesn't interrupt. He's been sleeping, mostly. Good to see familiar faces in chat. Hey, Brody. Hey, Crammel. What is the of John? This is gonna be sweet, but what if it's sour? Sweet and sour, even better. Anyway. We'll see. I'm sure it's gonna be good, especially, like, Ending 4 in Snoot Game was great, so I'm sure Ending 4 in Wani will be even, like, at least the same. Now, I've got a lot of story to get through, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Huh. Didn't notice the school had elevators. Why don't more people use it? She flashes a key from her pocket, so it's a part of her accommodations. Makes sense. But now the hallway has cleared up a bit. Bye now. Also, let me know if the music is overpowering my voice. Tart is a good flavor. I like tart stuff. I turned up the music a little bit because I noticed it was really quiet the last couple of streams. The elevator arrives, and Olivia rolls in. She moves her arm to push the button and jams the key into some slot. What's the look for? You coming? Oh. I slide in beside Olivia just before the door closes. It's probably safe to catch your foot in and just reopen, but man, this thing is ancient. There's an inspection certificate lazily plastered above the door from this side. It's covered in coffee stains and other signs of age. Is this thing really safe? Olivia shrugs. What's the worst that happened if our legs break? What's the worst that would happen? Our legs break? She eyes me with a smirk. This may have been a mistake. Ka-chunk. You had 2 bloody noses? This is the only good thing besides pizza that's happened today? Aw, man, I'm sorry about that. I hope you're getting some water to replenish that. My heart drops as the space around me seems to drop for a split second. The sound of the worn-out elevator mechanics fills the cramped space. How slow is this thing? I look over to Olivia. She uses this thing daily. Surely it normally runs smoother. Her mouth hangs slightly open in an amused grin, watching my sudden onset claustrophobia. Relax, dude. This is normal. Alright, this is normal. This thing jostling around like it's gonna drop us at any second is completely normal. When we reach the bottom, the doors clunk open and I practically fall out. Olivia casually rolls from behind. Somehow I sense it's with a degree of superiority. Anyway, see you later. Oh, yeah. Olivia rounds a corner and I'm left on my lonesome. My senses return to me, and I start making my way to the metro station. As I make the journey home, it strikes me how much progress I've made with Olivia. It's definitely still in its awkward phase, but I can see that she's opening up little by little. And it's starting to become amusing seeing her get confused by my friendly gestures. All in all, I got a pretty good feeling about this. Liz and Ben sure were overreacting, though. I'll be sure to tell them all about it. A week into September has come and gone, and I'm finally feeling acclimated to St. Hammond. Things have been going pretty smooth lately, if I do say so myself. Over the past week or so, I've been getting more and more used to my new friends, learning new quirks of them daily over lunch and in our classes. Like Olivia's penchant for tail whips. As I sit on the metro to school, my foot comes up to prod at the tender spot on my shin. I also learned not to borrow Olivia's stuff without asking. She usually tries to keep to herself, even when we're partnered up, but I do my best to play nice. Not to say she's being rude or anything, just quiet. Hey King, yeah, I noticed that a lot of people tended to show up when I was starting earlier, about 1 hour in, so I decided to start starting the streams like 1 hour later than I normally do. more and more, I kind of figured that part of her silence was just nerves. Accepting that silent facet, I think we've found some small understanding between us. Enough that I think she's starting to see me as a friend now. Among other things, Damien and Liz have given me their numbers. Or rather, Damien gave me both his and Liz's numbers. At first I thought that Liz would be mad that Damien had basically doxed her, but she didn't seem to mind when he explained his reasons. I also got Ben's number, since he figured we'd be doing a lot more team projects in photography class. My eyes roll over the past messages from my new friends. I became so engrossed in rereading them that I nearly missed the announcement of my stop. I scrambled to get off the metro, the closing doors just catching my jacket and forcing me to yank it out before I'm dragged down the tracks. Not gonna let that bring my mood down, though. It's Friday, meaning after today comes the weekend. Hey, Doodle Deer. We're still in the early part. I'm not sure exactly what the chapters are, because there's a chapter select, but the game doesn't tell you when you're moving from one chapter to another. We're still pretty early. It's a quick walk from the station, and I can see the school enter my field of view now. The school looks completely barren. Is it closed? Oh, we're at the cookout. Weird. I look around at some of the small stores that surround the school, the ones that are usually staffed by student workers. They are also empty. One of them has lights on, but it just looks like the manager's looking over some paperwork inside. I don't recall any announcement about a holiday today, and while I admit to having forgotten what day it was in the past, I'm absolutely certain it's Friday. So where is everyone? Even the entryway to the school is barren. The good part. I am on a bit of a delay from chat. I think I'm off by like a full minute. That's something that I want to fix, like, down the line, but firstly, I think I need better facial articulation. Anyway. And once again, let me know if the music is too loud. I want it to be balanced. Hello? I dance a bit in front of the camera, watching the door. It does not respond. You know what? Damien would know what's going on. I flip through my contacts and find Damien's number. It's ending 4, like everything in it, and leading to it. Yeah, I wanted to go through the whole story one more time, just with new context. I put the phone to my ear and pray that he picks up. After a minute or so of waiting, the dial tone cuts off and is replaced by Damien's voice. Yo, what up, Nico? Hey, Damien. I'm at school right now, and it looks like no one's here. Know what that's about? Huh? What are you... There's a brief pause on the other end of the line. Oh, didn't you hear? Hear what? Today's the last warm day of the season, so everyone's celebrating. Celebrating? Yeah, we're actually having a cookout at my place today. Say, you want to come over? The generous but spontaneous offer causes me to hesitate for a moment to respond. Thanks for the offer, Damien, but it's alright. I wouldn't want to intrude on your guys' party. What? It's no big deal at all, dude. My folks enjoy the company, and there's gonna be plenty to eat, too. Plus, Olivia's here as well. I weigh my options. Either go to the party, or I could just take the metro back to my home and sit in my room doing nothing. Inky, you still there, buddy? Yeah, still here. Was just clearing my schedule. You sure it wouldn't be an issue? Of course not, amigo. A friend of mine is a friend of the family. Well, alright then. Nice. I'll text you the address. See you soon, compadre. With that, the call ends, and not a few seconds later that I get a text notification. D-Man is typing. 61193 Crichton Road. Oh, that's a reference to the guy who wrote Jurassic Park. Go the long way around so the neighbor doesn't... Go the long way around. The neighbor doesn't chain his dog, LOL. I copy and paste the address on my Google Maps, and... Huh, looks like Damien lives pretty close to the school. Yeah, he mentioned that he did. Of course, it's a little longer taking Damien's instructions, but I'm not about to try out running a loose dog with my physique. Well, better make my way over then. (61189) 61191. Ah, here it is, 61193. Now this part might be louder. Let me just... Is that good? I'm sure someone will let me know if it sounds bad. The house looks standard for a house in this neck of the woods, or neighborhood. It's a one-story place, but it looks pretty spacious. Definitely a family house. I walk up the stone step path to the front door and ring the doorbell. This song, again. Yeah. It is a bop. The grocery bag wrapped around my fingers is starting to chafe a bit. I could have just come right away, but it felt bad coming over empty-handed, so I got something for the party. I could get closer to my mic. A simple salad bowl from one of the local stores on the way over. It doesn't seem like much, but as my mom taught me, it's courteous to come to a party with something. Actually, I realize how ill-prepared I look for an end-of-summer celebration. With Damien mentioning a pool, everyone else must either be wearing casual clothes or swimwear. Meanwhile, here I am, looking overly formal. Not like I could have thought to bring swim trunks to school. The door swings open and out steps Damien. Hey, Andrew Parsons. There is indeed a gator around here in dire need of hugging. Inko? Wow, man, you're crazy early. And you've come bearing gifts. Yup, here I am. I didn't want to come empty-handed, so I stopped by the store to get a salad. Aw, you didn't have to, dude. Seriously, though, you really didn't have to. My family and I are carnivores. But thanks. Still, it's like not even 10, man. Oh, you didn't give me a time, so... And also, I have no social life outside of you. Nah, that's my bad. Still, since you're here already, come in. It was written in a country accent, I think, Brody. Well, don't I feel silly? Damien still accepts the grocery bag and chucks it off to the side somewhere. Come on, everyone's out back right now. He turns back, making for a sliding door on the opposite end of the house. Following after, I barely have time to take in what I think is the living room and the dining room. There's a number of toys strewn about, foam dart guns and loose game controllers. Damien opens the glass door and gives me a small push out of the house. Hey everyone, we've got a guest already. Stepping out onto a wooden deck, I'm surprised to see the pool and yard. To the left of me is what looks to be an older, heavier-set version of Damien. Well, howdy there. Hello, sir. I'm Inko. He shifts the barbecue tongs from his right hand to his left so that he can shake my hand. Randy Payne. You can just call me Randy, though. I hide the grimace as we shake hands, feeling what I'm guessing is a very sticky marinade now clinging to my palm. Didn't think someone would come this early. I just finished getting the good stuff all sauced up. As soon as he lets go, he focuses back on the piles of different meats heaped up next to the grill. You don't remember that panning shot of the house? Huh. Yeah. Well, it's impossible to remember every little detail. Some things would probably just get pushed to the background. Meanwhile, I grab some nearby napkins to wipe the sauce from my hand. Oh, what's on the menu? Let's see here. We got brisket, flanks, ribs, sirloin, tenderloin, top sirloin, bottom sirloin, rounds, and shanks. That's a lot of cow. All marinated in my special mix of wet rub and dry rub seasoning. Oh wow, that's a lot, Randy. Me, Damien, and Soph will be doing it in shifts. If you're interested, I'll let you lend a hand too, if the missus doesn't rope you into carrying too much around. Sure, sounds fun. I've never actually grilled before. It's not too tough, you'll see. Now that I'm here, I can finally ask Damien the question that's been on my mind. Hey Damien, so I've been curious this whole time. What exactly is this celebration, anyway? Oh yeah, I haven't told you yet. Well, you see, Before Damien can properly explain, a motherly voice cuts him off. Damien, sweetie, you shouldn't keep your baby brother waiting any longer. At the mention of the younger sibling, a tiny Damien clone jumps over the deck railing and... Acid punch! Oh god, why? Why? Vinny! Look, bro, just like from the Power Raptors. I told you I could do it! I am so sorry, Inko. Vincent, this is why I don't want you watching those violent shows. Lady, his favorite sport is hockey. What are you doing? The younger dino isn't listening. He's already run off to find another victim. You alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Was that really acid? No, no. But here, you should wipe that off. Now. I take the towel handed to me and wipe off the splotch on my pants from where Vincent had punched. Dilophosaurus spit only gets more acidic after they reach puberty. I begin to rub away at the spittle from my pants with a bit more urgency. Thankfully, he's more me than his mother, otherwise you'd need a new pair of pants. What kind of dinosaur is she, anyway? I'm not actually sure. Wait, that's an actual thing? Randy laughs. So you must be Damien's new friend from school? Indeed I am. Vinny used acid punch, it's super effective. In Snoot Game Ending 3, there was a kid named Vince that Lucy was trying to wrangle. I fully believe that it is the same Vince that shows up here. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Oh, I didn't know we'd have guests so soon. I would have cleaned up more. You can just call me Sophia, dear. Speaking of school, Damien told me that you were there. Why would you be going there today, of all days? Honestly, I didn't even realize that today's a holiday. Usually I mark them on my calendar, but it must have flown over my head. It's no worries then. It's mainly us dinos who celebrate it. Yeah, Damien told me a bit about it, but I'm not sure that I fully understand. In that case, I'd be more than glad to clue you in. It's called Summer's End, as today marks the last warm day of the season. After this, fall and winter start rolling in. Huh, interesting. Well, this'll probably make me sound stupid for asking, but how come you celebrate it? To put it simply, the cold might be manageable for warm bloods, but for us reptiles, it's no bueno. So we spend the last day soaking in the sun and enjoying the warm weather before it starts getting chilly. Ah, that makes sense. Next thing you know, everyone's wearing extra layers and putting up the heat lamps. Though it apparently used to be Ice Age levels of frigid back in my granddad's age, so I guess we could consider ourselves lucky. Otherwise, we'd be nothing but a couple of popsicles with our tails for sticks. The patriarch lets out a laugh that's as infectious as his son's. Oh, she's a Spinosaurus? Her spinal frill is partially hidden behind her. Okay. Do they have acidic, tendencies? I think they're mostly aquatic as far as I know. I'm not, an expert on dinosaurs. He wipes a tear from his eye as he goes back to flipping the meat on the grill. Anywho, we're gonna start cooking up the food, so make yourself comfortable. Thank you, sir. I mean, Randy. While Damien's dad attends to the grill, I move to the banister overlooking the pool. Bathing suit shot coming up. It's filled with a couple of aquatic toys and air-filled floaties. Man, I wish my place had a pool. Well, I do have extra jeans at home. Ruining one pair won't be a huge issue. Nah, on second thought, it'd be real annoying to deal with drying off and going home. I wonder how deep... Whoosh. Ugh! Ugh! The hell are you doing here? I was invited. Focus on her face, not her other things. What the heck are you doing here? I live here, moron? Crap, right. Damien even told me on the way. Anyways? No, really, why are you here? Nobody was at school when I got there. Huh? Yeah, check the doors and everything. They announced the holiday yesterday in homeroom, didn't you hear it? That's what Liz said over the PA yesterday? I thought that was the school's anthem or something. Huh, no wonder everyone was staring as I saluted. Must not have been paying attention. But yeah, asked Damien what was up, and he said there's some event going on and invited me. Olivia sinks a bit into the water, actually. Stupid question, but... Are you really okay to swim? There's that glare again. Of course, why wouldn't I be? Well, you know... Thankfully, she gets what I'm saying. Sorry? She simply rolls her eyes. I like it in the water. I kind of wish I knew about all this earlier. I'd have brought my trunks. Oh, no, I'm not sharing my pool with you. What? Why not? Instead of answering me verbally, Olivia's tail whips up some water at me like a large wave. Yo, Inko, come check this out! Olivia takes the opportunity to slink back into the water. I think she's doing a weird version of the dead man's float. Well, whatever. Oh, more. Let's see. Damien also has her head frills showing he's a mix, despite mainly taking after his dad. Yeah, I think Fang was a hybrid of both parents as well, though they were both, like, pterodactyl-esque. No dino has poison or acid that we know of. That's purely a Jurassic Park idea that got into pop culture. Dilos also don't have frills either. Oh, I actually didn't know that. Hollywood lied to me again. Inko, don't think of scaly green melons, don't think of scaly green melons. That's more of an Anon thing to think, Andrew. Yeah. Well, he was thinking the same thing, just in different words. What's Damien yelling about? Yeah, Damien? Well, first, my little bro has something to say to you. Sorry for giving you an acid punch, Inky. Looks like he taught his younger sibling about my nickname, too. It's alright, Vinny. Vinny extends his hand for a handshake, though it's obscured by his sleeves. And secondly, we need a few chairs out here. We got some folding ones, but also some from the kitchen. Got it. They're cheap wood, not real heavy at all. After the chairs, we can do the table together. Mom'd be pissed if that got dropped. Why? It's the only one we got. And after everything's set, we can play something fun. 'Kay, little man? Vincent grins and bolts back towards the house. Damien chuckles, and we both follow after the kid. Ugh! The table drops a few inches. We were able to lift it with a hard crash back onto the tile. I'd be worried about the cracks, but the floor is already pretty shattered around here from the years. This table must actually be their gold storage, and it's just painted to look like wood. That's the only explanation. We catch our breaths and give our strained muscles a moment to relax. Why can't Livia help us? She's super strong. Olivia's enjoying herself in the pool, bro. We don't want to ruin her time. Her chair thing has wheels. We can use that. I think it might be a bit small. Aw, no fair. She's gonna go to her room soon. Why can't she help? Hey, come on. Not in front of any guests, yeah? It's true, though. You don't know that. Come on. The Damien mini-me pouts. I think I got a better grip on the table now. Let's try one more time. Okay, I'm ready. 1, 2... Wait. Huh? What's up? Oh! Mom must have been talking about the plastic table in the garage, not the dining room table. You're right! What? Guess we gotta haul this thing back to the dining room, fellas. Great. After getting the suspiciously heavy table back inside, Damien and I carry the much lighter plastic one out the door. As I catch my breath, I notice the younger dinosaur is gone. Maybe he ran off to do something else. Either way, I guess now is the time to ask. Hey, Damien. Yeah? What was that about Olivia going to her room? Huh? Oh, sorry, yeah, An awkward silence fills the air for a few moments. Vinny has no head frill, or it's just small enough to be hidden under his hair. Vinny hit the default dance. Is it explicitly stated in dialogue that Olivia is only paralyzed from the knees down? I mean, we can infer that it's not from the waist down due to the fact that she can move her tail. Yeah, I think Inko at one point when she's getting out of the pool directly says that she must only not be able to have leg feeling from the knees down. Which means, like, if you could get her into some leg braces, like maybe with some actuators going all the way up to the thighs, she might actually be able to walk a bit. It's just... she doesn't really stick around for family events like this is all. Regular introvert stuff, you know? It's no big deal. She's not a monstrous, antisocial, depressed narcissist or anything. And your parents are okay with that? Why wouldn't they be? She's her own person. Right. She usually makes appearances for food, though. Hey, speaking of food, you want to go check on the grill? Why? There's no way all the food is done by now. I know, I just like the smell. Oh, alright then. Sweet, let's go. As we make our way over to where Damien's dad is manning the grill, I catch a whiff of the spices and marinades applied to all the meat. Sophia's accompanying him, helping him to place the meat on the grill. Hold on, paralyzed people can not only move that part of their body, but also can't feel it. I could be wrong about that, but I think it has to do with how the nervous system is damaged. Somebody else probably knows more about that than me. Yeah, it definitely depends. Like, there's no two cases of paralysis are identical. How's it coming along, Pops? You making any how I like 'em? You know it, son. Have a look for yourselves. He steps aside and lets us gaze at the variety of barbecue set over the flames. The smell of it cooking and the symphonic sizzling sound has my mouth watering in seconds. Good, right? I'll say. Randy uses a pair of tongs to grab a piece of steak that looks halfway cooked. The secret is that you gotta let these babies have some time getting seared on each side. That way it really hones in the splat. Whoops. There's a bout of silence between everyone as we all stare down at the piece of meat on the floor. It's not too ruined. Hey, Olivia, you want it? A pair of eyes appear over the edge of the pool. Sure, toss it in. What's this now? Randy proceeds to chuck the steaks right into the water as one would do with chum to attract fish. Whoosh. Jeez. Anywho, since you're our first guest, Inko, you get the honor of getting choice picks. Which one you want? Oh, I don't want to impose or anything. Ah, nonsense. Besides, better to get in your picks now before the other guests arrive later. Hey, think of it as payback for all the soda and chips you've been getting us. Come again? Well, I guess a burger is more convenient. I don't get to attend a family barbecue every day. Excellent choice, Inko. Want it rare, medium rare, or well done? Hey, Inko, go for the rare. Damien licks his lips as he says that. Rare? What is he? Carnivores, right. I'm pretty sure a raw burger would kill me. Last time I tried to make burgers was years ago, and I messed up so bad because I didn't understand why ground beef had to be cooked all the way through as opposed to steaks. Yeah, don't eat rare burgers. Yeah, I'm sure you'll want ketchup with it too, huh? Come on, Damien. One well-done burg coming right up. Yeah, not gonna take any chances. Just saying, you're missing out, amigo. I'm pretty sure your mother was just messing with him. We'd never serve that sort of thing to a guest. There's no way we could afford the suits. Mr. Randy lets out a hearty guffaw as he lefts the burgers on his grill. It's alright, son. Though it may not look like it, Volcadera has its share of humans. From what I know, you guys can eat about anything, right? Raw meat aside. I mean, yeah, I guess. The only thing you know how to cook is those packaged pizzas? Well, that's a first step. I mean, everything has instructions, you just gotta follow it. Must be nice to be able to just grab whatever's on sale at the market. Meat prices these days are getting pretty crazy. I've seen some of that synthetic meat around. That might be cheaper. Why not try it out? The grill. The meat stopped sizzling. That was so awkward. Sorry? There's one taboo I stumbled into head first. Noted. I, better change the subject before things get any more awkward. So, hey Damien, I've been curious this whole time. What exactly is this summer's end celebration anyway? Didn't my dad tell you earlier? It's the last warm day of the year or whatever. We'll just pretend we didn't hear that, son. Yeah, I get that part, but why is it a holiday? Ah, that. Actually, I don't remember either. I guess I should have been paying more attention at school. It's a bit concerning that he doesn't know much about his own culture he's currently celebrating. Actually, it probably doesn't even need a reason. Why would you? It's just the last warm day of the year. Any excuse for get-togethers is fine in my book. The kid flumps down hard on the grass in the way only children can without shattering something. Ah, and we don't gotta go to school. It's nice and warm, and we get to eat real good. I think those Mayans had the right idea. Vinny! Mines, yeah? Hey, Inko, you All right, it's just about ready. It's about time guests showed up too, isn't it? They'll be here any minute. Oh, Olivia. Across the yard, Olivia contentedly drifted to the middle of the pool. Though a look came across her face upon hearing Damien's mom, and she began paddling towards the raised deck. Are you going in so soon? Yeah? Are you sure you don't want to wait until the others get here? Yeah, wait till the food's ready so we can— Oh wait, that's Damien, that's not Vinny. Yeah, wait till the food's ready so we can all eat together. I'd rather not. I just have a lot of art stuff I have to do, sorry. Damien's little brother steps out from the small deck. But you said we'd play sometime today. She tries to back her uncertain tone up with a shaky smile. Maybe later, Vinny. Have fun? She lifts herself from the pool and kneels atop her chair. I'm confused at how her legs work, but my best guess is that perhaps they only do above the knees. Turning about, her hands carefully set her feet down on the chair's footrests. Fully settled into the chair, Olivia rolls herself to the sliding back door of the house. I think the table is just about set. Now we really are just waiting for the others. Damien, has your friend texted you at all? Yeah, Liz said she'd be here about now. Oh, it's Liz? Nice. She's bringing her uncle, too. Oh, snap, that's nice. I'll bust out the brewskis then. In fact, Damien shields his eyes and looks upwards behind me. I turn too, but at this angle I can't see anything. Yeah, they're in the front yard. I'll go get them. Damien rushes through the back door into the house. A moment later, he emerges again, as if to show off the new guests. Come on, don't make it weird. Hi, everyone. Oh, Inko, you're here. Yeah, I got roped in. Neat. Come on, Uncle Mike, through here. Hey now, I'm not that old. A giant figure lumbers through the doorway. I knew it was coming, but like, the chain is so funny. Oh, Vinny does have a back frill, no neck frill. That's interesting. When you say soy sausage when there's chorizo on the grill. Reminds you of when you went to Wales and were surprised they had a holiday that you didn't know about, can't remember the name. Well, the name would have been Welsh, right? So I'm sure it would have been pretty hard to pronounce. That's cool, though. Also, I'm probably gonna sneeze. Ah. Bless me. Just kidding. That is not what I told him to get. Hey, Michael! Randy, how have you been? I actually forgot that Mr. Ferris had a first name. The two pat each other's backs and give a firm handshake. Doing good, doing good. How about yourself? What's with the ridiculous getup? Is it Mardi Gras? Haha, no, nothing like that. I've been trying to relate a bit more to the younger generation recently. It seems we're just too different these days and all. Aw, come on, leave that stuff to the kids. Then he sees me. Huh. Mr. Ferris? You know him? Yeah, we've met. He takes the same train as me. He's been helping me out, recommended that I try this chain out. Liz jerks her head in my direction furiously. I'm gonna get it later. Oh god, really regretting the handshake now. I think he popped all my bones at once. Welcome to Wales. Have a happy little day. The food will be ready soon, Inko. Your turn to the grill. Oh, don't worry, kid. All you gotta do is keep an eye on the meat and make sure they don't catch fire. Damien's father leaves after I nod. The rest too, heading to where Damien, Vinny, and I had just set the chairs and the table. Turning to the grill with a grimace, I swallow my nerves and take up the tongs. Right, nothing to worry about. Okay, nothing bad so far. Hey, Oh. Sorry. Hey, Liz, what are you doing here? Oh, everyone else is talking about Randy's cooking, and I figured I'd see what's on the menu. What do you think I'm doing? Why on earth are you getting my uncle to dress like he's going to be in a music video? He asked for help. You thought that was good help? Yeah, he just didn't take it right. Across the yard, Vinny's jumping at the shiny object. Mr. Ferris caves and lends it to him. See? Problem solved. Ignoring Vinny now strutting around like a gangster. Oh man, whatever. What's actually cooking? I motion to the silver tray spread out next to the grill. That's a lot of meat. Actually, aren't you an herbivore, Liz? I am, but I think Damien thought ahead for me. Wait, wasn't that the salad that I brought? I knew he wouldn't forget about me like that. Anyway, is Olivia out here? She was just in the pool, decided to go inside. Liz's head is still for a moment, as if in thought. Apparently it's a common thing with her. Yeah. I was hoping she'd have stuck around for once. She does this often? Every time Damien's folks throw a party, she slips away to her room. I sometimes see her at her window. Her eyes motion me to turn and look at a particular window. I can't really see from this angle. Why would now be any different then? Liz shoots me a knowing look. What? Well, I figured she was opening up a little to you. I mean, I guess. To some degree. Not like I have any frame of reference. At best, I can kind of talk to Olivia now. What? Did you just hiss at me? No. Then what? Oh god! Spinning around, I see that something has caught on fire. I grab whatever it is with the tongs and flail it around, hoping the air would put it out. It works well enough, but it's pretty burnt. Well, that's one lost cause. I give the piece of charcoal a careful look, and yeah, it doesn't look edible in the least. I put it to the side and turn back to face Liz. Anyway, what were you saying about Olivia opening up? Yeah, it's strange, but also good. Certainly a bit surreal after all this time. Angry Liz wraps her neck around Inko and constricts. Stop trying to make Uncle Mike cool. You aren't even cool yourself, and you know it. That's cute, but a little sad. Damien didn't actually think of her. Damien is a sweet guy, but he isn't thoughtful. That's correct. Like, I think it's nice of Inko not to let her know that Damien actually didn't think of her. Liz lets out a sigh and shrugs. Well, it's a shame, but it is what it is. Anyway, I want to go catch up with the others. See you around. Liz returns to the rest of the gathering, leaving me alone with the grill once again. Burnt piece of meat aside, the rest of the food is still looking good. Still, I'm not exactly the best grill master. Not like it matters too much to Damien's folk. Whether food's actually cooked or not is purely an aesthetic matter. A couple more flips and the meat is brown and sizzling, which is good enough in my book to put them along with the other finished pieces. I think I'm about done with my shift. Damien's turn was next. He's just gonna be wrapping up these last few things. Duolingo jump scare? It doesn't take me long to spot him chatting with Liz, who's enraptured with whatever guaranteed high-concept discussion they're having. Hey, Damien. Damien's frill things perk up a bit as he turns around to face me. Your turn on the grill. All right, you got it, hombre. He waves Liz over and takes firm hold of the spatula. Okay, time to get some more... He suddenly pauses as his eyes fall on the charred remains of a once juicy and savory piece of meat. He picks up the piece of meat and inspects it before chomping down on it with a single bite. Okay, I'll finish cooking the last pieces. Inky, if you'd be an awesome dude, can you start serving the others what's ready to chow on? I give Damien a nod and grab the tray of cooked meat. I take the tray over to the eagerly waiting crowd with all the care to be expected from someone surrounded by very hungry meat-eating saurians. Upon seeing the platter of delectable and edible flesh, they stop whatever they are doing and begin to gather around the table. And then I said, well, it's 'cause you look like a student yourself, miss. Ha! Oh, that's rich coming from you. Meat, 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 meat! It's finally here, Vincent. Now remember your manners. Hopefully with my salad, too. It seems like everyone's having a pretty good time with their meal. They even eat the ones that I cooked, though I can see Damien's little brother making a slight face of disgust, still winds up chomping on the meat anyway. All in all, I'm pretty satisfied with how my cooking turned out. I take a seat next to Damien and Liz and prepare my meal before I dig in. Gotta go with the tried and true. Ketchup and nothing more. That's kind of boring, though. With my burger prepared, I go in for my first bite. Gotta say, Damien's dad did a great job with the patty. So, what do you think, Inko? I give a thumbs up and smile as best as I can with a full mouth. The elder dinosaur gives me a toothy, sauce-stained grin in return. I can see where Damien gets that toothy grin of his. Savoring the well-cooked meat patty and buns with each bite, I slowly lose myself to the party's mood. Though I feel more ancillary from it, seeing the adults lost in work talk while Damien and Liz are handling the excitable Vinny. Humming around a mouthful of burger, my eyes wander. The entire yard is smaller than mine, and there are tons of toys scattered in the low-cut grass. Not too many plants either, just the grass and a couple of shrubs running alongside the fence. The word quaint comes to mind. Maybe intimate? I could picture the kinds of events that happen back here. I shake my head, clearing my photographer's mind away. It's Damien's place, private property. I'd have to ask before I do anything camera-related. Thinking about it, though, I do have my camera securely stored in my backpack inside the home. A part of me considers grabbing it, and as I look back towards the house, I spy a certain someone at their window. Olivia leers out across the yard. She's too far away to tell what exactly she's staring at. That must be her room, then. Her gaze shifts a bit, and I still can't see what she's looking at, but it is in my direction. Or Damien, he's sitting next to me. I carefully trace where her eyes are focused, leaning to the side and slowly coming to the plate in my hands. Checking back, she is laser-focused on something. I wonder. I slowly lift the plate up, and Olivia's head tilts upward with it. I lower it, and her head tilts downwards. A part of me wants to test this further, except that would be a real waste of food. Whatever illusion she was under is shattered with a shake of her head. I can hear Olivia's annoyed growl from here as she turns her snout up at me and returns to whatever it was she was doing. She does want some. Why not come out? Well, I'm sure nobody would mind if I just brought a plate in and left it. Besides, my fingers are sticky from all the finger food, to the point where they're stuck to my paper plate. It's actually kinda gross. Now I remember why I avoid it normally. Ungluing my fingers from the plate, Damien's mother notices my plight. You can use the kitchen sink for that, Inko. Or the pool. Sticking my thoroughly marinated fingers into the pool? That just seems like a future issue for whoever has to clean it up later. Thank you, ma'am. I think I'll use the sink. Damien's already gotten up for third, so there's plenty. I load up a new paper plate with a steak and whatever remains of the ribs and discreetly head inside. Thankfully, the sliding door is partially open, just enough so that I can use my foot to push it the rest of the way open. You're gonna eat plastic forks with your soda? I don't think you should be eating plastic. We already have enough microplastics in our system. You don't need to turn them into macroplastics, alright? There's a coffee table in the living room. That's as good a place as any. And the kitchen's right there. I'll just rinse my hands off a bit. Curse the... Making liberal use of the dish soap, I start scrubbing my hands thoroughly. While I feel the stickiness start to unstick itself, I look out the window. Damien's parents seem to be focused on Vinny, but Damien is still shooting looks to the left. The hyperactive hybrid shoots up from his seat, disappearing from view. I wonder where he... Woo! Splish. Dang, clothes still on and all. Kid was serious about washing hands in the pool. Man, I could have gone for a dip myself. The AC in here makes a huge difference. It must be 90 degrees out today. There's plenty of soda, so I'm not in danger of dehydration at least. But geez, I'm only noticing just how warm I still am from stepping inside. I'm surprised there's no steam rising from me. Looks a little red, too. Good thing I didn't bring any sunscreen. Crap. It's not that bad yet. Maybe the Pains have some sunscreen around. Olivia pops up out of the sink just like she did out of the pool. That'd be amazing. Nah, they're reptiles. They wouldn't have any. Maybe I'll just have to deal with it. My knuckles start hurting from being wrung so much. The smell isn't gone yet, though. Anyway, it should be clean enough to... Both of us are frozen still, locked in a staring contest. The steak shoved in her mouth, she stares like a deer caught in the headlights. She spits the steak back onto the plate in her lap and grips the insides of her sleeves. It takes me a moment to collect myself to muster up some conversation. Yeah, your delivery came in. You want soda with that? The joke goes unlaughed at. I tried. May as well. Need to get to the fridge? Oh, sorry? I step to the side to give Olivia enough space. She rolls herself over to the fridge, opens it up, and rummages through. We exchange a few awkward glances to the point that it's palpable in the air. So, what are you doing? Getting a soda? The kid's taking your spot in the swimming pool. That's fine. I'm gonna go crash in my room. When there's still a party going on outside, I'm busy with art. Shuffling the soda can into her coat pocket, Olivia redirects herself and with a flick of her tail closes the fridge shut. But what about the party? What about it? It's still going on. And, look, I've got stuff to work on. Even though it's a holiday, it seems like the perfect time to get together with friends and family, and I'm not their family, if you haven't noticed. And I'm not going to be here for much longer. That's a new look from her. Was it because of what I said? Olivia? What? There's a couple different things dancing atop my tongue that I wish to say. Some would be too intrusive, especially after what she just said. One, however, sticks out the most, especially after she had brought up working on it, and I genuinely want to see Olivia's process. Would you, mind some company? What? Seems pretty empty in the house to be by your lonesome, so maybe it'd be nice to hang out. Plus, I've been wanting to see your art for a while, especially as I recall her freshman piece that's displayed right next to the principal's office. I'll even show you some of my stuff. I have my portfolio drive in my backpack, after all. I have to hold back my laugh as a silly strangled noise of surprised confusion escapes her mouth. Is that an okay, then? Ow! Quimbly! Sorry. My cat likes to claw my computer chair when I'm not sitting in it, and when I am sitting in it, sometimes he gets confused between what is my leg and what is the chair. Chill out. You calm down. You nuisance. You hooligan. Anyway. No, it's just... I don't want anyone else in my room. Then how about the living room? I motion at the well-loved couch nearby. She hums in thought for a moment. Are you really that interested? Yes. Why would it be cooler inside? They like the heat. They'd still turn the AC to hot during the cool weather, though. Plot hole. Don't worry about it. The first time you heard her say that line about not being here for much longer, I took it far worse. You thought she was dying or something? Yeah, that is what it sounded like, especially, you know, because she has an as-of-yet unknown medical condition. You wonder if what Olivia's dad's job is that caused her to be dropped off at the Paynes. If I remember correctly, I think he's in the Air Force. Like, it's definitely something military-related. Average cat behavior. Yeah, totally. I've been wanting to see your work ever since I found out that that cityscape piece in the gala was yours. Olivia clutches her hands together tightly. Okay, fine. If you're so interested, you can watch. She wheels herself back towards a shut door. Need to get my stuff set up first, though. Sure, I'll be here, on the couch. I kind of feel bad for missing out on the party, too, but I doubt I'll ever get another chance like this. Olivia returns with a small easel already set up with a half-finished painting. She takes a moment to shift herself from her wheelchair to the end of the couch right next to me. She's pretty close to me. Also, does she not have a mom? Yeah, that's something that I've been wondering about. Probably not. Otherwise, where is she? Like, either the mom is not alive, or she's not in the picture for some reason. Neither one of those is good. I can feel her thigh barely brush against mine, but I'll try to pay it no mind. The painting looks like a bust of a nondescript dino guy. Although, with how vibrant these guys are, it could easily be a portrait of someone specific. This isn't that good. She rips the page off and crumples it in her hands. Starting over, then? Don't interrupt. She takes a deep breath. The paintbrush nears the canvas slowly and gracefully, although it's clear her nerves are getting to her. Okay... Wait. Olivia looks down for a moment before she jerks her head back up, her face gaining a reddish hue. Dude, why did you scooch so close to me? I didn't? You're the one who sat next to me. Oh. She looks away for a moment, realizing how over the top her reaction was. Olivia then does a double take at me, her brows furrowing. What's wrong with your skin? I was born like this. Shut up, that's not... You know what? Yes, it is. But I mean it's red. Oh, yeah, I think I'm sunburned. As I look over the red splotch on my arm, Olivia raises a hand and touches it. Ow! Why? Jeez, that really hurts? Yeah, it does. I didn't think to get sunscreen on the way over. There wouldn't happen to be any here, right? Point taken. But... there's some of those spiky plants outside. Aloe something, I think. Just snap a leaf off. Mrs. Payne wouldn't care, probably. I think I've heard something about that plant before, yeah. Alright, I guess I'll give it a shot. I get up and head back out the front door. Lo and behold, there were in fact a number of those spiky plants around. I walk up to the nearest one and carefully grab the leaf in a spot with dull spikes. It bends and snaps off pretty easily. Man, this looks about good enough to eat, but it probably tastes awful. Is it really good for curing sunburnt skin? Back inside, Olivia started painting again. She gazes intently at the page. And the plate of food that I had brought in has been cleaned. Olivia holds one last rib in her mouth, like a cigarette. It waggles up and down between her teeth. When she sees me, she crunches the bone in two and swallows the last of it whole. I bring up the aloe leaf. This it? She nods and extends a hand to grab it. I hand her the thick leaf as she extends a single claw. When she catches the edge of the skin, she makes quick work peeling the husk off. You do that often? Not me. Sophia uses it a lot to make smoothies for the family and healing salves for Vinny. They're real pretty, too. Olivia blinks, coughs, and grimaces. To, paint, I mean. Natural homemade healing recipe, huh? Gonna have to ask for that later. Could come in handy down the line. I move to remove my jacket so that the aloe can be applied properly. But I don't get far before I notice Olivia's face turning a darker shade again. No? No need to remove your jacket. Just roll up your sleeves and put the jelly on your neck. She hands me the now exposed aloe jelly, all the while doing her best not to lock eyes with me. After rolling up my sleeves, I scoop out a dollop of the opaque substance. The feeling of relief hits me the moment that I spread it across my neck. Man, this feels good. I start applying more to my nose, cheeks, and most importantly, the top of my head. As I do, I watch Olivia continue her painting, taking extra attention to her brush strokes. The mom is just never mentioned. Inko, Fang, Nasser, and Damien and Vinny are the only characters confirmed to have both parents, but I mean, do we need to meet Liz or Reed's families? I guess it's more notable with the main characters. Anon also has both parents, just his mom might as well not be there. Do you think there are synthetic plants made of meat for carnivores? I can't see why there would be a need for that. But maybe? The way she moves it down the canvas with such smoothness and gentleness shows her level of concentration. Not too rushed, but also not that overly focused on the art either. Using the last aloe to cover my arms, I'm fully covered in the rudimentary remedy. I take a second to throw the husks away in the kitchen trash, catching a glimpse of the party outside. Everyone looks like they're having a good time out there, except for Mrs. Sophia, who's currently trying to chase a very soaked Vinny with a towel. Yeah, if the parents don't factor into the story at all, then they may as well not even be there. Inko's dad has a line, and we don't even see what he looks like when he says it. Back on the couch, Olivia's painting is starting to take a more defined shape. Unlike the cityscape piece, however, it looks more organic. She continues to paint in silence, occasionally doing a quick glance at me to see if I'm still watching. I don't want to poke at Olivia for no real reason, but this might just be my only chance to ask. Hey, Olivia. Your family, the Paynes, they seem like a lively bunch. What's that supposed to mean? Like, I knew Damien was eccentric, but I can see that he gets it from the rest of your family. First of all, the Paynes are my godparents. Secondly, yeah, they are. So, how long have you known them for? Olivia pauses for a moment, mid-brushstroke, but then continues. Practically my whole life. Damien and I have known each other since we were carpet crocs. And his parents have known my dad since, well, forever. Since before we were even neighbors. Okay, confirmed, Olivia does not have a mom. She would have said his parents have known my parents, not his parents have known my dad. Oh, friends of the family? Pretty much. Whole reason why I'm living with them. Her muzzle clamped shut. Forget what I just said. The words were spoken with a tone tinged bitter with something. A tone I felt very familiar with whenever my own family is brought up. Sure. The only sounds left now are her brushstrokes on the canvas. My focus turns back to the patch of blotchy red and pale acrylic oil slowly forming across the white expanse. Occasionally, Olivia's gray eyes would glance my way before going back to her work. Compared to the more rapid pace of time-lapse art videos I had viewed, she was more deliberate with each of her movements. Pretty obvious since most of those were done digitally, another thing I had not considered. Still, staring at the painting in progress itself, there's something uncanny about it. It's now more formed, definitely looking like something. Cupping my chin with one hand in contemplation, I use the other to try and trace out the peachy and pale, vibrant colors. Olivia looks back to me again, and a glint of something shines through her eyes. Hold that pose now. Hey, how long have you been using me as a layman doll? Her hand fails to cover up the snort that comes from her nose, followed by a gremlin-like cackle. Consider it the price to see my process. I want a refund. Nope. Looking again, it's slowly becoming an oil bust of my burnt face. Like looking in a mirror, eh? Can't you at least get my good angle? Nope. Turning back to the mural du melanoma, Olivia starts adding a blotch of cream to my head. A sigh escapes my lips. Hey, I said stay still. Why? And I'm not that red. Another high-pitched giggle comes out of Olivia. It's called artistic license. Well, it needs to be renewed. Despite being the butt of her joke, I feel myself smiling. Must be the new sounds from her, since it's the first time I think I've seen her happy outside of a Yatakan's class. And yeah, that laugh of hers is kind of infectious. The silence returns, though the mood feels much lighter now. When Fang asks Anon about his mom at Moe's, Anon just says she was a normal mom, just a bit naggy. Yeah, Anon definitely has both parents. His dad just gets mentioned more often. Also, they can eat non-meat once in a while. Pure carno-herby are pretty rare. Yeah, like, a lot of animals in real life that we think are herbivores actually eat meat occasionally for various reasons. I feel so stiff right now. I don't know how long I've been holding this pose. If I had to guess from the sunlight filtering into the house, it's at least been an hour. Mural de Melanoma was almost done, and it was staring back at me with the most intense eyes. Olivia's attention was left on one final detail, the hand holding my chin. I'm thankful she'd finished the sunglasses first, because the reflected light from the sliding back door had been searing my retina. Olivia... Hush. She turns her head and focuses entirely on the hand held by my ear, pupils moving rapidly to try and take in every last detail. Her fingers twitch as her hand lowers over the painted hand. Her eyes are now shifting between my hand and my eyes. Her hand is now quaking, and a growing redness suffused her face. The more she looks towards my eyes, the more her arm shakes and face brightens. Finally, she turns away from me entirely, bringing both of her arms with her and away from me and the canvas. Okay. Okay? Her cheeks puff out as she exhales her held breath. Okay. Finally, she turns her cherry red face to the canvas and inspects the near-complete portrait. I'll come back to this later. Can I... Yeah, you can drop your hand now. Finally. I lay back on the couch, feeling my spinal cord pop in rapid succession. I said your hand. Can't. I attempt to stretch my arm in front of me, and because of my stiffened muscles, my forearm is pulled back towards my face. I repeat the motion several times, the movement helping to ease the muscle until finally my arm doesn't feel spring-loaded. While I was busy trying to fix my arm, Olivia was packing up the canvas. That's about it. You can go join the others or whatever. She drags the canvas, easel, and acrylic tubes back to her room. I wonder if she'll keep that one. And I wonder if she'll stay in her room again. We've been inside for a while. I don't think anyone outside has noticed that we've been gone. Vinny and Damien seemed to accept that Olivia would stay inside, but... Wait. I've caught her a bit off guard. Invite her. Do not convince her. That was a mistake that I made the first time. If I'm going outside, it would be rude of me to leave without saying bye, at least. She looks at me quizzically. Sure. But I think I'll try staying until the end. This has probably been the best day I've had since I moved here. And my first real friends in a long while. I'm glad to have been invited. She's not leaving, but she's scanning me suspiciously. Damien's been a great friend, and his folks have been really nice to me. Better than my own parents, even. You're lucky to have them, I think. I guess. Good for you. Have fun with that. I really need to. I think you should come along. She freezes. What? Her eyes widen and some of the color leaves her face. No, I can't. Why not? Mr. and Mrs. Payne... They already have Vincent and Damien to worry about, and right now they're hosting all the other guests. They've got plenty to deal with already. I'm not worth the accommodations. Just leave it. Let them be normal. Even then, it's like I said, I don't have much time left. She really does make it sound like she's dying, good lord. That's a little overly harsh. And it was every argument she had. They're the kind of arguments that come from desperation and guilt to convince herself it's for her own good. Maybe it's a little presumptuous, but that's at least the sort of thoughts I've had reading notes from my parents allotting me resources like I'm just an anthropomorphized mouth. It certainly doesn't seem like I'm worth it to them sometime. But they're your godparents, right? They're helping your folks, yeah, but they chose to have you here because they want to let you be normal. That doesn't... a normal part of their family, I mean. I don't think they'd have you here if they didn't want that. Oh, please, go on and tell me more about my own family. Her voice is sardonic. She's not making eye contact anymore, but she's listening intently. This is all stuff that she's known already. But you're absolutely right about one thing. You don't have much time left. Neither do I, honestly, even if it's mostly because of moving. You know what they say about rolling stones gathering no moss. In that way, we're in the same boat. Give it a shot out there. Okay. I'll try it with you. That analogy was pretty dumb, but you're right. Inko statue. Cows will absolutely suck up a chick if one walks by. Yeah, cows and horses. It's terrifying. Olivia, I may be sunburned, but what's wrong with your skin, huh? I shouldn't be able to see you blush through them. Oh, that, I'm an artist. It's artistic license. That's what you were worried about during the demo? Oh, hey, Taylor Leiter. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome to the stream. The back door squeaks back open. Even with sunglasses, I wince at the sudden brightness. I take a step out and stretch my back, working out the last bit of stiffness from my shoulders. Olivia still waits at the threshold of the door. Give them a little chicken nugget. Dino nuggies for all! If I ever get memberships, I'm gonna make one of the custom emojis a dino nugget. What are you waiting for? A curtain call? With a grin, I draw the sliding door even wider, and with a beckoning wave, attempt to usher Olivia out as if I were her personal attendant. Cut that out, don't make it weird. Despite her words, her tone is more humored than annoyed with me. Relax, nobody was even looking. But it looks like there's definitely no more food left. About right. As Olivia rolls down a small wooden ramp I hadn't noticed, we catch Damien on the bottom step. Olivia? At the table, heads turned towards us, looks of surprise etched on the faces of most of them. Instead of answering him verbally, Olivia's hand comes up in a nervous wave. The rest of the party resumes their prior discussions, although maybe a bit livelier than before. Hey, cool to see you out here, again. Hey, Damien, why are you all the way over here for? I can't stand to be by Liz's uncle when he's eating. He's got those fibrous teeth, ugh. Like blue whales have? Yeah, freaks me out. His dentist must make a fortune. It's hard to switch between Damien's voice and Olivia's voice. It's like the same part of my throat. Huh, yeah. Hey, Olivia, what are you doing back out here? You forget something? No, I just thought it'd be a good idea to enjoy the weather while it lasts. Damien perks up with his frills undulating. No, Damien, stop that. Olivia quivers as Damien's grin grows wider and his frills start moving faster. Ugh, stop it. Even I'm getting unnerved by how those things move. Damien! Sorry, you know these things got a mind of their own. Finally, those weird flaps still. Dude, you were just complaining about Mr. Ferris and his teeth. At least he can keep his mouth shut. Hey, I could always wear a beanie. No, you can't. Remember the last time you tried? Both Damien and Olivia share a laugh over some event they're privy to. When they finish, Damien asks the million-dollar question. So, are you gonna join in, or...? She turns her head away, and I give her a supportive thumbs up. Yeah. Damien finally stands from the step, and we all start heading towards the table. I don't want to hear about Damien undulating either. The music makes the scene more emotional. Definitely. Like, this is the start of Olivia's character development, and it's up to us not to fumble it. Fortunately, I know what all the right choices are now. Each partygoer greets us when we approach. The loudest from... Livy! Hey, you finally came out to play again! The rambunctious boy hoots and hollers as he bounces in circles around her. Olivia huddles her arms and looks aside in my direction, feeling the stares from the table. I give her a reassuring thumbs up. Actually, this is perfect. Thank you, Vinny. This is something Olivia's able to give when she was so worried about just taking. I hope she goes for it. I'm a little tired, Vinny. What? No, come on, Livy. You promised we'd play today. Like old times. Please? All right, you win. I did promise. You want to play cannon, then? Yeah, cannon! All right, then. Ready? Round loaded. Fire! I hope that's not a real gold necklace. Oh god, this was a bad idea. Whew. Randy. Relax, Soph. Vinny's still young. Michael. Vinny, be careful. I'm okay, Mom. Well, have you gotten stronger, Olivia? No, shut up. Anyway, can we do it again, Livy? Olivia smiles and pats his head. It's weird seeing it, but as she readies Vincent for another launch, the Gator girl has a bright, toothy smile that I never thought she had. Olivia smiling genuinely, unlike ending one. Mr. Payne. Woo! Alright, I get it. Vincent! Yeah, Dad? No more cannon today. Olivia and Vincent share a disappointed look. Now, there's a lot more things you two can do. Vincent perks up and immediately rushes off. Oh, I know. Olivia turns back to the rest of the group with an uneasy smile. Miss Payne steps forward, her hands held up and wavering. Olivia? Hi, Auntie. Miss Payne and her husband approach, both with nervous smiles. When she speaks, it's with a certain restraint, holding her excitement back, as though worried if it showed too much, she'll change her mind and go back in. I didn't miss much, right? I'm so glad you came out, dear. The older woman kneels in front of her and wraps her arms around Olivia. It's been too long, little ace. Randy's hand ruffles her hair, while his other arm also encircles both Olivia and Sophia, and while Olivia does her best to avoid his palm. I can see the tiny smile on her face. Aww. Time seemed to pick up speed after Olivia had come out. Damien and his father returned to the grill, managing to prep and cook a final serving of meaty goodness for an early dinner. I decided I could go for seconds and get a few scraps of this and that. I nearly drop my food when I get a rough pat on the shoulder from behind. It's Mr. Payne. He looks down at me with a thankful smile. Mrs. Payne and Mr. Ferris had continued their conversation until Mr. Ferris's throat ran dry. and the rest of us had to contend with a hyperactive child with an armory of foam dart guns. I felt bad for Liz. She'd become a one-woman shooting gallery for the boy. And Olivia. And me. And Damien, but at least he looked apologetic about it. But now things are winding down. The food is officially all gone. Everyone is exhausted, physically and mentally. Oh wait, they weren't targets. They were all shooting Nerf guns at Liz. I misinterpreted that the first time that I read this. Everyone is exhausted, physically and mentally, and yet thoroughly satisfied emotionally. Olivia pads by me, having returned to the pool to cool down and stretch out. There was just one last thing to really cap this off. Okay, everyone. Ah, yeah, this part! I hollered to everyone currently on the deck, grouped up nicely for me. Looking through my viewfinder of my propped-up camera, I adjust the focus to ensure that everyone is captured perfectly in the shot. Sweet, love watching sprites hug. Snoot and Wani do both have really good music. That's why I tried to get the sound levels a little bit better for this stream. Sometimes the songs are way louder than me, and then sometimes I'm way louder than the songs, and I kind of want it to be level, but it's really hard to tell when you're doing it live. Alright, on 3, give me your biggest smiles. 1... Wait! Olivia turns away from the camera, looking towards Damien. With a grin, Damien waves for me. Dude, you gotta be in this too! There's nods and words of agreement from everyone. Well, it's been a while since I've used this mode, so why not? Setting the time delay, along with the sports mode, I'm sure with 10 rapid succession shots, at least one of them will be perfect. And I can always do some post-production on it too. Ensuring that the focus is still fine, I click the shutter button and keep the count in mind. 30, 29, 28... By 13, I've settled myself next to Damien and above Olivia. Alright, 9, 8, 7... I feel something wrap around my ankle and press against my back on 4, 3, 2, 1... Ah! The camera flash goes off 10 times as I'm pushed over by Damien and pulled into the pool by Olivia. Oh man, everyone's faces. Vinny looks like an absolute goblin. Oh shit, that was an expensive jacket too. September 25th. It's been nearly a full month and things are starting to feel natural in school now. You're being harassed by your cat, Kiwi. Hello, Kiwi. Big Boss Vinny and cursed Damien. Vinny shoots a dart and hits Liz in the neck multiple times, even when he wasn't aiming at her. Most likely. Well, at least compared to my old schools, except now I've actually made some good friends. I'm gonna save right here, just in case it crashes. I'm pretty sure we're good friends anyways. I don't really know how to measure friendship. Outside of that party a few days ago, I haven't hung out with any of them outside school. If friends just hung out at school and good friends did stuff outside of school, where does that put us? Well, it's still early in the school year. I'll figure out the friendship conversion rate at some point. And it's not like I'm rushing either. Shades, focus! Leaving my current thoughts, I realized that I have been in the middle of climbing a rock wall in the gymnasium. Huh, why was I spacing out again? Alright, all the blood rushing to my head. That's a liability. Alright, peel yourself off of my majestic gym floor and hit the showers. Whew. Made it just in time. I take my seat right next to Olivia and let myself relax for a second. Olivia is, as usual, doodling away in her notebook. I take a quick peek at her new work, curious to see who she's trying to turn into a caricature today. Instead, the page is filled with various scribbles of what looks to be a rat. Hell yeah, guts foreshadowing! The only piece of shading for its fur is just on its head, save for a white spot around its right eye. It looks like the same one she doodled on the notes we passed around in history class. The mirrored mural shows it in various poses and scenarios, some basic and some pretty creative. There's even one wearing a cape and wielding a ridiculously giant sewing needle like a sword. He needs to kill Rat Griffith. He's gone too far. These rat doodles of yours are pretty cute. Wait, no, Griffith would probably be a cat. Like with the long way. Okay, I need to stop writing rat berserk fanfiction and get back to reading the game. Thanks. Actually, that reminds me. Look who else I drew over the weekend. She flips a couple of pages of her sketchbook and holds it up for me to see. Much to my surprise, it's none other than Mia. Olivia decided to draw her as what I can only describe in the most flattering of ways as a druggy harlot. Her clothes are even more ripped than her usual attire, her jacket is filled with all kinds of unflattering patches, and her hair is styled into a gaudy mohawk that only detracts slightly from her face full of piercings and rings. In fact, she has a couple of rings piercing her eyelids, to the point that I think it would be impossible to keep her eyes open from their weight. And that's not even getting into all the tattoos that Olivia has drawn on Mia's face. I can't help but let out a snicker at the sight. A white bird? Oh yeah, that would make more sense because of the helmet. You like? She's sporting a smug grin as she looks my way. I mean, it's funny, but how can she even breathe with all those nose rings? Doesn't need to, she's full of hot air already. The girl chuckles at her own joke. But if she saw it, steam would blow out of her ears. Yeah, she'd stomp around uselessly and then do nothing else. Seems like you have a pretty good idea on how she works. She's just predictable, it's not rocket science. We're interrupted by a pair of students. I recognize them, though I only know one of their names. Yo, Inko, my Humie! So I saw what you submitted for the contest, and I just love it. It was so good I had to show it to my friend. Yeah, man, I just had to come see who made it when Laura told me all about it. And when she told me, I was like, oh my god, I just knew when I saw you, you had that artistic spirit. Pretty damn fantastic, especially for a newbie. I'm a bit taken aback by her backhanded compliment. Still, it is a compliment, the first real one that I've heard since coming to St. Hammond. About my art, I mean. Oh my gosh, I never introduced myself, did I? I'm Kiara, it's so nice to meet you. Yeah, likewise. Cool. I mean, it's not that great of a piece, it's just something that I had on hand. Last minute? Damn, you're selling yourself way too short there. Yeah, your work is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I'm thinking we should hang out sometime? Oh, you slut, stop trying to get into his pants. Oh shit, the bell's ringing soon. Already? Damn. Well, it was nice seeing you again, Inko. Keep up the great work. Be seeing you later. Yeah, be seeing you real soon, Inko. I can't help but smile as my new friends wave their goodbyes and depart. You naive dumbass. A heady feeling of joy washing through my head as I replay their words of praise repeatedly. In the corner of my eye, Olivia's smile reflects the overwhelming cheer I'm feeling. I am about to sneeze again. Though it seems to vanish the moment I look her way. It seems like you're becoming the talk of the school. I mean, I hope that I get some positive feedback about my work, but I didn't realize it would be that good. You consider dressing as Lunara from Halloween until you remembered that she wears heels? I mean, you could get around that by wearing flats instead. I don't think anybody is going to question the accuracy of your Wani costume. Also, we don't even see her shoes most of the time, so it's like a not well-known trivia fact that she has them. When you see them, the cops theme goes through your head. Trying to make fetch happen. They want Inko and he didn't even register it. Yeah, but they only want him because they think he's a good painter. They probably just want to use him. Olivia chews her lip in contemplation before turning to me. Say, Inko, can I see your submission? Sure, give me a second. Luckily, I'm prepared, as not only do I have my portfolio drive, but I finally set up a cloud drive for it. So it's as simple as opening up the application on my phone and swiping the exact digital copy to present it to Olivia. Ta-da! I consider it my magnum opus. Magnum opus, I finally got to say it. You keep a copy of it on your phone? I got my whole portfolio in cloud storage. I learned it was a good practice from a couple of artist blogs, so what do you think? Oh, Olivia squints at my phone as she does her best to formulate her opinion. It's, nice. The compost of it is really something. You mean composition? Yeah, that. You did great, Inko. Huh, getting a compliment from Olivia for my work feels a bit alien to me. But maybe, just maybe, this was the start of something new. Yeah, I can almost feel it now. Inko G. Nito, ace photographer, capable of capturing masterpieces through a photo lens. Yeah, that has a nice ring to it. Olivia must see my self-congratulatory grin because her own drops. Alright, you did good. Don't let it go to your head. When the grin remains, she forces it off by elbowing me in the chest. Gah! Warned you. That's gonna leave a bruise. With that exchange behind us, Olivia and I get ready for class. When are Lunar's feet seen at Rule 34? Yeah, it's good. Like, I didn't even know she had heels. They don't have an art book for this one, I don't think. Inko, they only like me for my artistic skill and not my hot body. Wait, wouldn't even be more shallow the other way? That's a good point. As was the norm by now, Mr. Iadikan began class with some violent abuse of school property. He's going through it, good lord. Like, I didn't even parse the first time through that the reason he was absent on the first day of school is probably because he was at the doctor getting diagnosed, which means that the whole time in the back of his head, this guy is coming to terms with the fact that he's gonna die. It's so sad, but also kind of extremely respectable. Good morning, good morning. Now settle down, we've got announcements to go over. I sit back in my seat, subtly feeling out the spot where Olivia smacked me to check. Yep, bruised. Sheesh. As the pale pterodon continued on reading from the announcement sheet like he did every day, I found myself lost in my own thoughts. Nothing else really happens that I consider out of the ordinary. Things that are new, like the school itself, are finally starting to become mundane. Later at lunch, I'm rattling off my best stand-up to Olivia while Damien's out getting seconds. Liz had retreated to her usual space in the rafters. And then he says, "Oh goddamn!" Olivia's hand flies to her nose, trying and failing to contain the snort-filled laughter. It sets off a chain reaction as my own laughter spills over my mouthful of cheap school burger. God, you suck at comedy, Inko. Olivia drinks greedily from her canteen to alleviate her sore vocal cords. Is that why you're all out of breath? It was a pity laugh. Stick to photography. You got a better one? The mood is slow to settle, but once Olivia has caught her breath, she speaks with a snide smile. In fact, I do. So, a Triceratops, a T-Rex, and a Rhino-Rex find a lamp. Her mouth clamps shut and her eyes go wide. Olive? Ah, perfect. I was looking for you too. Olivia casts her eyes down to her lunch, spearing her mystery meat roughly with a talon. Hey Ben, what's up? I figured I'd come by and congratulate you on your submission entry. This again? I mean, it is my best piece, but all the praise for it is still surprising. It's exhilarating, all these compliments and everything. Wani takes place 3 years after Snoot Game happens. Ah, okay. That might mess up the timeline of Vinny being the kid that Fang is yelling at in ending 3, but I don't know. It's all up to interpretation, really. Thanks, man. Hey, maybe I'll be the winner of the contest. What do you think, Olivia? The Green Gator girl flinches. Ben shakes his head. Also, Olivia, great to catch you here. Principal Scalar wanted me to remind you that you need to clean up after yourself. Leaving messes in classes can disrupt students in other periods. Scalar said that. Why not tell Olivia herself? She's busy and tired of reminding you. Olivia scoffs at the mention of our principal, yet keeps her mouth firmly closed. Must not be that important, then. Inko, I just spent my entire second period cleaning up her mess because she's not taking anything seriously. I'm not supposed to be Scalar's errand boy, and I'm certainly not supposed to be a personal janitor. I'm left to frown at Olivia, giving Ben the silent treatment. Was it wrong of me to think she'd be more open with everyone else like she is with me? Do you know how hard it is to scrub baking soda out of the carpet once it's dried? Can you just try to not make other people's lives harder? Ben, what the hell? I didn't mean that. I went too far. I'm sorry. Olivia tries shooting me an indifferent gaze. It cracks a bit into embarrassment when I don't return it. Ben's comment is completely uncalled for. I can't just stand around if she's not even going to defend herself. Come on, Ben, leave her alone. My point being, Olivia, this is completely ridiculous. I expect better from you. Expect? How can you have expectations for her? That was the hardest fumble. That came out a little wrong. Well, I expect her to do the bare minimum and not waste my time. Olivia doesn't even bother looking at Ben. Instead, she's looking at me with that sad face until she quietly wheels away from us. I think I went a little too far there. Man, he pinches his brow and sighs. And left standing here with the student council president, wondering what I had done that earned me Olivia's ire just now. That bad? Mia really wanted me to have lunch with her today. She's definitely gonna give me an earful after school. He glances at his phone and grimaces at the notifications. Spoke too soon, she's giving me one now. Well, you should probably grab your lunch while there's still time. Isn't Snoot released in 2020? Snoot released in June 2021, Wani in February 2024. Oh, hey Jack Loth, you're new. Welcome to the stream. Granted, I think Ending 3 happens 3 years in the future after Anon leaves for the military, so it still could be Vinny. Oh, you're right. That would make the timelines line up. Inko being Inko. Terminally awkward. Ben glances up at one of the clocks in the lunchroom. There's only about 10 minutes of lunch left. You're right, but the lines usually close 5 minutes ago. His fist hammers his palm in epiphany. Oh, you used the vending machines out there. Anything good there? I've been enjoying the atomic hot taquitos recently. But Damien tells me he's a bigger fan of bitter melon bites. Bitter melon it is. I don't think my tail could handle that amount of capsaicin. Ben gets up from his seat. All right, I'll go check it out. Let's see. One of his feet gets caught on the stool and he stumbles head first. Right into Damien's tray, stacked high with mystery meats. He faceplants right through the tray and onto the floor. On the bright side, the mystery meat cushions his fall. On the dark side, the mystery meat cushions his fall. Whoa, Ben, you alright? I jump from my seat and go to help him up. Blah. Instinctively, I take a look around the cafeteria. All eyes are on us. I already hear it starting. Various murmurs about the safety of the student council president, murmurs that start breaking into jeers. I know how this song and dance goes. It's over for Ben. He gets up and dusts off his blazer. Not exactly what I meant when I said meet and greet, Damien. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. All of a sudden, the entire attitude of the cafeteria shifted before my eyes. The jeers were deflected into general amusement that permeated throughout the room. One of the nearby students stands up and hands him a few napkins to wipe his face off. Hey, thanks. How does he manage to stay composed while covered in school mystery meat? I'm both impressed and jealous. You okay? I thought you couldn't eat meat. Nah, even if I swallowed any, it'd take a lot more than that to really be an issue. I'll be fine. Thanks for the concern, though. Even as he brushes off the lunchroom grime, Ben carries himself with dignity. If that had been me... This guy has some seriously quick wit. No, there's probably a little more to it than that. Man, I was looking forward to eating that. Why on earth did you even have that much meatloaf? I asked the cafeteria lady earlier this morning to let me have the leftovers. Although, now it's gone a bit to waste. He eyes the remains on the floor. Some poor janitor's gonna have to mop all that up. Maybe. Don't even think about it. The bell signaling our next class tolls. The fistfights and gang wars cease on command, and everyone starts milling towards the exits. The cafeteria empties enough that I can barely see the Ben-shaped meatloaf angel on the floor. There's a familiar rubbery and textured feeling on my fingertips. My instincts had kicked in, hands going for my camera to capture the moment, after which a sense of shame rolls over me. That I would even consider capturing something like this, especially when it's happening to my friend. Yeah, imagine that, Inko. Imagine being so insensitive that you would witness somebody going through something terrible and decide that the best thing to do is take a fucking picture. I'm sorry. I'm still upset about ending 1. I don't think I'm ever not gonna be. I get up from my seat with a heavy sigh and finally head for my next class. I hope Ben will have the time to clean up before photography. He's got 5 minutes. Ew, there's a bunch of Ben all over my food. On my way to photography, I'm still a bit caught up by what just happened. I think I'm starting to see how Ben accomplished that. I mean, ordinarily, an incident that embarrassing would just be detrimental to your social standing. On my first day, I went through something like that, an event so humiliating people were spreading rumors for days. That's heavy ending 1 foreshadowing for sure. The foreshadowing is so good, like, you don't really notice it until you go through a second time. Imagine that. Sure, they died out pretty quick, but the fact is, it happened. One moment, everything is fine, then suddenly something you couldn't have even seen coming just upends your life. Something like that can happen all the time, and to anyone. Oh my god, I'm being smothered by foreshadowing. It's something that's always terrified me. It's something that just happened to Ben, only he was exempt. He was quick on his feet and diffused the situation faster than it could have even really started. It's like disaster avoidance. I seriously think it's the most important skill one can have. To have everything under control, to see trouble from a mile away, and to make it a non-issue even when it takes you by surprise. That sort of social capital is something that I need. Maybe it's a little selfish, but if I were seen that way, then any sudden happenings would be forgiven instantly. Of course, Ben isn't alone. The world is full of people with that skill, only I'd be lying if I said most of them deserved it. Most people able to get away with stuff use their unique ability for just that, getting away with stuff. What should be seen as a blessing of a social buffer is just some enabling trait of theirs, a charismatic get-out-of-jail-free card. If I had that ability, I'd use it to push myself to my limits, both artistically and productively. That's my ultimate goal. Ben is one of the good ones, definitely. The fuck does that mean? He's definitely earned my respect over this. The question remains, though. How do I get like that? That line of thinking is cut off as I round the next corner. Wanted to talk with ya, Olivia. At the center of the hallway intersection, I see Mia and Olivia. Oh, come the fuck on now, Olivia. Don't be such a killjoy. I'm trying to be nice here. The grin on Mia's face is jovial as she stands before the wheelchair-bound girl, her tail lazily swaying as she eyes Olivia. Man, I never realized how lethal those spikes on her tail look. After all, I have to be nice to someone as talented as Livia, don't I? Behind her are a pair of similarly smiling Saurian girls. Actually, wait a minute. Those two. They're Mia's friends? Ambiguous. I mean, she knows her way around a palette and canvas, right, Livia? A paraplegic Picasso here. That's you, right? I can't imagine how useless you must feel otherwise. I'm so glad you're able to put those thoughts aside and paint some things you like. Mia takes a step towards Olivia, her previous expression taking on a more ominous air. Yet, for all that talent and untapped potential, you seem to lack some of the basics expected of a functioning young adult. Mia's lips part, revealing a cruel grin. I hear you've been a really dirty, messy little baby, leaving your stuff everywhere in class and getting it all over the place. They should stick you in a cute little bib. Kiara and Lunara laugh, jeering loudly at Olivia. Mia snaps her finger, causing the two of them to go quiet. I still don't want to believe it. Those two, they were so nice to me. What are they doing with Mia? I know them. They're smart. They know if this is what it looks like, then it's horrible. And they're not the kind of people that punch down like this, but you don't know them, though. But they all decided to do this, right? So what's going on? Is there more to this situation? Mia takes another step forward, her figure now looming over Olivia as she looks down with a cruel sneer on her lips. Normally, I wouldn't waste my time trying to single you out, but I'm gonna use this moment to make you get the picture. Benny was supposed to join me for lunch, but he had to stay behind to clean up after your mess. You got your issues. You can't ride a bike. Whatever. That's your fucking problem. Stop making it mine, Livia. Or do I need to start being a problem for you? Yeah, does Ben look like your nanny? Well, she does come pre-packaged with the stroller. Come on, Mia, that's crossing the line. It's not like she can stand up to you, or anyone. What, I'm just chatting with Liv here. But if I did hurt your feelings, I'm really sorry. Kiara's beak clicks loudly and repetitively while Lunara's hand covers her maw to hide a giggle. Oh, don't take it so personally, Livia. I'm just teasing ya. Right, Liv. We're all just one big happy family here. Lord knows some of us here could use one. I don't even know how to respond to that. I want to hear both sides of the story here. What history Mia and Olivia have for a confrontation like this. I think getting this upset over her missing lunch with Ben is extreme, but Mia's friends remain by her side, completely steadfast against Olivia. Is it that bad? And yet Olivia says nothing to her. She has her head atop the knuckles of her hand like I would during Prockling's history lessons. There were moments where Olivia's tail would press into the floor, shifting her chair back or to the side. It looked like she was attempting to sidestep the conversation with that muscular tail, but Mia's own movements cut off her escape attempts. Mia returns the calm stare. There's no motion, but the staring contest was a fight in its own way, and the first to look away would lose. Olivia's frigid indifference against Mia's piercing gaze. Kiara ends up dropping her phone and both glare at her simultaneously. Mia's so mean that it almost makes you not want to make out with her. That's how mean she is. Lil Gator mod reference. Still would. Brody, even though you're pretty sure the mod came out after the actual game. Oh, okay. That's the joke. Mia's so mean that it almost makes me not want to imagine her at a swimming pool in an impractically small bikini. Yeah, I'm really disappointed that Mia didn't get further character development, because she could have been a really interesting antagonist. She's a theater major, right? So, like, there's a chance that this entire persona that she has of the mean girl is just a front for whatever is actually lying underneath, but we'll never get to see that. Well, we might. I'm not going to say never. Unless saying might jinxes it. Anyway. A draw. Kiara, I swear I'll kill you one of these days. Olivia takes the opportunity to move past Mia. Mia makes no time to toughen her stance and continue her spew of insults. What? Leaving so soon? No response. And so quickly. That's almost normal walking speed. I was honestly thinking, you need a cooler nickname to go with your need for speed. Hot Wheels. In an instant, Olivia stops to a squeaking halt. Gone was her stoic face. In its place were eyes wide with shock. How the hell? Olivia's pace falters. Mia quickly steps ahead again and places a foot on her left wheel. Your brain-dead finhead friend told me back in gym class. He went on and on about how you had it back when you were still soiling your diapers. Honestly, I think you should embrace it. So say it. Well? Are you retarded, you stupid bitch? Fucking say it. God, do you need a fucking speech therapist too? Say it. Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels. See, I knew you could do it. Kinda fitting. I agree with half of it. Olivia's claws dig into her armrests. Maybe that's the nuance. The point is that only half of it works. Mia turns to look at Kiara and Lunara, eliciting some more giggling from them. I'm sure you wouldn't mind us making it cool again, though, right? I mean, you were such a winner back then. Mia leans in close, her voice now a harsh stage whisper as she glares daggers through Olivia. What's wrong, Hot Wheels? Don't want to talk anymore? Am I not good enough for you? Even from afar, I can tell that Olivia is starting to lose her composure. Her tail lays limp on the floor, as if the energy to hold it was drained away. Oh my god. I think this is bullying. Yeah, you fucking think, you goddamn... Okay. I don't want to believe it. But it's undeniable right now. This is textbook bullying. It's unfair. It's like when you're in line to use the restroom after hours and hours of waiting and someone cuts in front of you. Completely inexcusable. This is the part where I should step in. Like, did Mia damage his brain on day one? I think that might be a factor. What do I even say? I have to at least try, right? It's my duty as a fellow student. And maybe I don't need to say anything at all. Just being present for Olivia against the Horde. And it certainly wouldn't help if I got an even bigger target on my back from Mia. Olivia wrenches herself free of Mia's foot and continues down the hall. The others follow, like vultures. Oh man, I need to think and act fast. My legs move on their own and I cross into the hallway. I'm instantly noticed. Mia's already registered my presence and her expression changes. My heart starts beating quicker and harder. Time's up for being indecisive. Show support for Olivia. As much as I want to go off on Mia and her posse, Olivia wouldn't want me to try standing up for her again, not after how I tried to handle it with Ben. Besides, I'd probably fumble the words and make myself look like a fool anyway. You don't need to fumble your words to do that. So there's really not much that I can do. But what I can do is nothing. Say nothing and do nothing, just wait for Olivia to pass by. She stops a bit in confusion, but quickly remembers that she's currently on the run. When she passes by, I follow down the same hallway, slowing my pace to be slightly behind her. Olivia turns to look at me with equal parts surprise and dread. I think a part of her fears that I'm about to say or do something really stupid. Instead, I merely give her a warm smile. To be picked on by that many people at once, all certain they're doing no wrong, it's terrifying. In moments like this, she should know that someone's got her back. Even if I have nothing to offer, at least the playing field will be a bit less one-sided, now that she has someone beside her. The hell? Hey, I know that jacket. And I know that bullseye for a head from miles away. The group starts following behind us. Olivia glances over to me and I return another small smile. Well, well, if it ain't Baldy, coming in to save the day or something. I don't respond. Instead, I keep my head forward and I keep on walking with Olivia. That seems to catch Mia a bit off guard, as I can hear the gears in her mind visibly start to turn. Hey, I'm still talking to you, Hot Wheels. The sound of shuffling boots starts to gain on us. Just because you have Baldy here now to protect you isn't gonna save your hide. Neither him nor any of your dipshit friends. I can see Olivia's claws digging into her armrests at the nickname, but otherwise she maintains her apathetic leer. The more we walk, the more obscenities Mia keeps blurting out to try and get a rise out of either of us. This is why you don't have any real friends, you skipless salamander. I don't know if Olivia has a plan, because I can't fully understand why she's letting Mia walk all over her like this, but I remain steadfast and believe that she knows what she's doing. It's all I really can do. Who'd even want to be with a cripple like you? I can hear Mia laughing at her own words. Olivia, please change your mind and waste this bitch. Run her over! Ah, so you got something to say now, Hot Wheels? She shrugs. If that's how you feel, Mia? What? Olivia doesn't say anything else. She only turns around and begins to wheel herself down the hallway. For a moment, I stand in place and watch as Mia tries to process what happened. Even her posse looks confused, unsure of what to say. You really got her, Mia. Yeah, it definitely showed that leathery bitch. Mia jerks her head to her cohorts and glares at them, angered by their pithy comments. Then she stares me down, with obsidian daggers in her eyes. Well, that's my cue to leave. With the grace of a headless chicken, I scramble down the hallway to catch up with Olivia. Rounding the corner, there's no Olivia to be found. Where'd she go? I suddenly hear Lunara's voice echoing down the hall, followed closely by Mia's. Mia, what are you doing? Get back here, you fucks! Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Not alone. Not with them. Dread fills me as I hear the pursuing predator's heavy footsteps approach me. I'm grabbed from behind. I'm dead. I'm dead. Whoa! Suddenly, I'm violently pulled aside, right into the school's elevator by the collar of my jacket. Oh, thank God it wasn't Mia. She jams the key into the slot and smashes the button to go to the second level. As the doors close, we hear Mia roar out for us. Next time I see those two again, I'll make sure that oversized cue ball has to use that wheelchair of hers instead. Thankfully, the elevator doors close shut and the car jerks upwards before making its ascent. Never knew I'd feel grateful to be in this death trap. As I catch the breath I had unknowingly held, my eyes align with a pair of silver serpentine eyes. I, appreciate what you did for me back there. I'm surprised. Not sure what to say back, really. Instead, I smile back and nod. In return, she gives me half a smile before recomposing herself. You should, roll with me in the elevator now. How come? Well, you just became enemies with her. If she sees you, you'll be a wad of gum under her boot. Oh, joy. Yeah, your best bet is to just avoid her now. That way you stay out of the this way you stay out of the hallways. I appreciate it. Don't mention it. Wait, the elevator will stop Mia from beating the snot out of me and the entire rest of the school? Yes? We hear the small electronic bing of the elevator and the doors slide open. Let's see. Still wood. Cramel is down. Cramel, you are down bad for Mia. I'm sorry. What about Uncle Mo? Oh, we'll just have to... Hang on, I gotta catch up on these. We'll just have to Lunara or Kiara are waifus, since they're not as mean or hot. What about Uncle Mo? As a waifu? Well... I mean, he has a steady source of income. I look cute in blue? Aw, thank you. I kinda just inverted my hair color and my skin color. Love this moment, and music. Only Lunara is a predator, though. Still the kindest. Lunara is a different kind of predator. Human simp predator? Why do you mean you're sorry? Wait. Oh, because Mia is terrible and I wouldn't wish her on anybody, but if she makes you happy, then good for you. History class is as bland as it usually is. Saving again, just in case. Procklin continues prattling on about some sort of historical event, but most of my attention is on Olivia. She has her hoodie over her head and looks lost in thought. That altercation must have shaken her up more than I thought it would. A part of me wants to ask if she'll be okay, even though I'd already asked 3 times already. But the last thing I'd want to do is prod at her. Soon enough, class nears its end, and Olivia uses her accommodation to leave the class early. Besides, we can talk about it after school if she wants to anyways. The more I think about it, the more I realize that I had my first real confrontation with a bully at a school. I heard once that when you get into a fight for the first time, you throw up from the adrenaline. No fists were thrown, but I feel about the same right now. I wring my hands together to try steadying them. Jeez, I'm a wuss. I stood up to Mia with Olivia, and I end up in this mess. The final class ends, and I'm set free for the day. You can fix her? Maybe. I mean, literally. She's fictional, so... Technically, you could do whatever you want with the character. Don't ruin your dream. Give her the character development that she deserves, Crammel. I believe in you. You can do it. Stepping out of St. Hammond's main entrance, I'm surprised to see my friends huddle together in a tightly knit group. I usually don't see any of them after school. I always assume that they left as soon as the bell rang. Hey guys, what's going... Inko! Damien looks exceptionally worried as he glances at me. Inko, you believe me, right? Pardon? Olivia's nostrils flare with an exasperated snort. I didn't mean for any of that to happen. What's the matter, Damien? When Mia asked about that nickname stuff from so long ago, I just blurted it out. She didn't say she'd use it for something so unscrupulous. I'm ashamed it took me more than a moment to figure out what was happening. I guess Damien feels culpable for what Mia did, but why? You don't know what that word means. Who cares? Inko, really, I didn't mean for any of that to happen. Hey, I believe you, man. Your heart was in the right place. Olivia told us what happened with Mia, calling her some nickname. Damien leans back over an unresponsive Olivia, hands spread in supplication. She said you were there, too. I was, yeah. Olivia, you loved that nickname way back when we were kids. Damien's words were dismissed with a roll of her smoky eyes. He really didn't mean it, Olivia. I know already. For a split second, she bore row upon row of sharp teeth before gnashing her maw in frustration. Olivia's nostrils flare out with a huff of hot breath again, and I could practically see everything from her day finally weigh on her. You were just being you again, Damien. Sometimes I wish you weren't, but whatever. There's a grittiness to her voice once more, but she continues on. She holds her canteen up to her lips, but drops it immediately. She takes a sip from her trusty Vault 13 canteen. Empty again. The grit in her voice is back, but she presses on. And the nickname is just that, a nickname. I don't want to hear it again. Especially from her, and especially if it's just to get under my skin. Olivia stares at Damien for a while before breaking contact to glance at Liz and I. Why not? Wait, did I say that? Why did I ask that? It just kind of came out. Liz notices Damien still organizing his thoughts. Seeing as neither of the others are going to answer coherently, she sighs. Well, I wasn't around for this. When they were freshmen in middle school, Damien and Olivia would take the bus every weekend to an arcade in the city. I guess he came up with the nickname around then, and it stuck. That's half right, but I didn't come up with it. I'd brought a chunk of change for us to play stuff with each other. A match on just about anything there was a quarter, probably still is. But I don't think I won, even once. Once she stood to win something, it was like a switch went off in her head. I'd never seen Olivia get like that. Some of the teenagers were watching too. They saw everything. A couple challenged her once and ran out of cash, and sure enough, she ended up clearing house all afternoon. It was all she'd talk about at school all week until we could go back for more. Only took like a month for her to be recognized as some local champion. Sometime along the way, people started calling her Hot Wheels. I don't really remember who or when, but I do know it's proof that she's got that fire in her. Wow, yeah, that's... I had fun back then. I guess I forgot that I wasn't supposed to bring it up. Have things really changed that much? And you did, again. Damien hisses to himself. Sorry. Just can't help yourself. But you're right, that was the best time of my life. The name Hot Wheels belongs to 10-year-old me, not current me. Hey, that's a great story. To be recognized so well that you get a cool nickname, it sounds amazing. Being a champion, being a winner. Why all the disdain for the title? I'm not... What? I'm not a winner anymore. Because you don't go to the arcade anymore? If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's only like a half hour away. Olivia looks at Liz like she just recommended everyone watch the newest Netsticks anime. Netsticks. Well, if this story's anything to go by... Oh hey, emojis in chat. Right in AO3. Next on Cops, a red Parasar dragged off for domestic abuse while crying. While crying, battered human husband insists that he still loves her and that she'll change. Yeah, 2 hours already. Just had that future vision deja vu. We'll see how long I can keep this going for. Let me check my PC's temperature. It's a little warm, but it's cooler today, so I might be able to push it for 1 more hour. I'd like to see you a winner again. Thanks for all the emojis. Olivia's breath seems to hitch for a moment. And I'm sure these guys want to see it too. Damien's the one that dragged you to our lunch table all this time, right? Look at him. He's nearly keeled over because he's afraid of losing that part of you. And Liz? I think I'd like to see why you and Damien are really close friends. Yeah. And just as quick as I gained the bravado to speak up, my words left me immediately. I think I accidentally put Olivia on the spot here. Whoops. Well... Her tail rolls along the ground a bit in contemplation. If you guys really care that much about it, I wouldn't mind it from you guys. All at once, Damien lights up. Yes! Alright, Hot Wheels is back! You guys now refers to Liz and Inko. Damien's shoulders drop for a moment, but he quickly recovers. Hey, if we're getting the name out again, we should go visit the arcade together sometime. I'd rather not. Okay, then how about a better name, like... Death Roll? Olivia swings her tail around to trip him, but he's fast enough to jump over it. Damien's words flood out as he contemplates new nicknames for Olivia to try and appease her, many of which are shot down by her, or leave Liz and I chuckling. Gradually, our giggles died down, and the 4 of us chatted a bit more about the day in general. Eventually, Damien and Liz headed their respective ways, with Olivia deciding to stick around. Most of the school has filtered out to their various homebound rides or to their after-school activities, leaving Olivia and I all alone. Stop trying to make me feel good about myself, haven't you seen Ending 2? Hey, I'll roll with you. Really? I mean, I don't mind, of course. It's nothing. House is only a few blocks away anyway. Besides, I'm sure someone would beat you up and take your lunch money if I didn't. There's plenty of time to make it to the next train, so the 2 of us take it easy. The sun finally managed to break through the autumn clouds, making the walk almost unseasonably warm. Man, I thought the last day of summer was a week ago. It was. I don't mind staying warm longer, though. Feels pretty great to me. Olivia gives her chair an extra hard push, letting herself glide by unaided for long enough to stretch out her arms and bask in the sunlight. I might have figured you'd like the heat. Oh, what, because I'm a dino? No, not like that. I'm just playing. Relax. You're pretty touchy on that stuff, aren't you? The 2 of us finally make it to the train platform, nestled as it is off of the main street. I can see the train a few blocks away, our walk timed up with its arrival perfectly. I just think it's important to be educated is all. Even if you're, what, the only human at our school? Olivia flashes me a cheeky grin as my train pulls up. I've got to admit, her mischievous nature is a little infectious. As the train doors open, I leave Olivia with one final jab, something that I know she'd appreciate. Hey, whatever you say, Hot Wheels. I neatly dodge out of the way of her slashing claws, stepping smartly onto the train as the doors close. Inko, you son of a bitch! Get back here! As the doors ding shut behind me, I can see an irate and still blushing Olivia waving her fist as the train begins to pull away. Still giggling, I manage to squeeze myself into a seat next to a yellow-scaled woman smelling faintly of hot dogs. Tracy! Let's go! She came from her own game. I need to check that out. You know, I may pay for that comment later. But the look on her face was totally worth it. Save. Tracy, my beloved. Yeah, underrated character. As the school year progresses, the days start to feel like they're moving along much faster. A part of it may be the change of the season, however slight that change may be. While the calendar says it's officially fall, the only thing I've really noticed was the increasing number of clouds in the sky. Better safe than sorry, though, which is why I brought my fancy compact carbon fiber umbrella. Still, things have started to be routine for me in the mornings. Wake up, throw on my clothes, consider eating breakfast before realizing I'd wreck my stomach, and walk to the station with a featherlight umbrella in hand. And wouldn't you know it, I end up having another chat with Mr. Ferris on the ride to school. Hello, Mr. Nito. How are you this morning? Doing fine, sir. Thank you. And how are you? I'm doing well. So my niece told me over the weekend that you and Olivia were in a predicament of some sort. Yeah, Olivia was being picked on by someone, but it's not a problem anymore. I see. Well, that's unfortunate to hear, and strange considering the substantial funding the school gets for anti-student harassment programs. Those programs do not do shit. What good is all that tax money if classmates are still ragging on each other? If it means anything, Olivia knows how to handle herself, and I was there to support her. That's fine, but the issue is this sort of thing shouldn't be happening to begin with. That aside, Liz has gotten somewhat enthusiastic recently regarding Olivia. She's surprised at how animated she's gotten. Ever since that get-together at Randall's place, I think. I'd wager you have something to do with it, no? Maybe a little. Yeah, it was certainly rocky in the beginning, but we've been warming up to each other. It's nice seeing a different side of her, even if it's brief. I don't know, can I take credit for that? We all have unique chances to make a change, Inko. If you're good at grasping them, that in itself is something to be proud of. How do you know it's really a chance to do anything? Well, you see, son, 2 purple boxes will appear, sometimes 3, and they will have different options. He lets out a deep, reverberating chuckle. Well, to flip our usual script and let you in on an old phrase a friend of mine once told me, if you see a fork in the road, take it. Yeah? Thanks, Mr. Ferris. Like my mornings, the school days have become routine as well. Slave through PE with Damien, see Olivia's new doodles and sketches in art class, watch Liz lose her mind tutoring Damien at lunch, talk shop with Ben. Wait, she came from her own game? Give me details. Well, I don't have the details. They were given to me by somebody else in the comments. But basically, Tracy came from her own game. I think it was called Tracy's... Kitchen? Something like that. I think it might be about cooking. The only reason that I knew that her name was Tracy at all is because her theme music is called Tracy Lost Her Other Job. Olivia's slippers change their emotions with her. Yeah, I noticed that. Isn't it also that really old meme that you can't say on YouTube without getting demonetized? But wait a minute, I'm not monetized anyway. Aren't her slippers also just straight up the pedo bear? Though now I have to avoid Mia like the plague, because she's surely out to kill me. All said, I think St. Hammond has been my best school experience out of... Man, I've lost count of how often I'd moved. Must be the fresh head trauma. As for today... If you see a fork in the road, take it. Free silverware is nothing to be sneezed at. It's been raining pretty often recently, so Coach Solly made us play more dodgeball in gym. Mia was definitely gunning for me with the way she launched them at me with the speed of a catapult. I rest in Iadican's class, popping my spine against the curve of the chair. Apparently today's a short day because of some assembly, so the period will end much earlier than usual. It also means we get most of the period to slack off, do homework. I glance at the desk next to me in the hopes of catching Olivia's latest artistic masterpiece when I notice that she's not drawing and instead only fidgeting. Hey, Olivia, you seem a bit nervous. Everything all right? Also, is that a rodent in your pocket, or are you happy to see me? Oh, sorry. It's just that I've been hearing rumors that the school's shared drive might have been corrupted. What, really? Yeah, really. How would something like that happen? Not sure, but I'm scared that it might have messed with the art contest submissions. I think you should check out your entry on the website just to make sure it's okay. Technology, don't fail me now. With urgency, I take out my phone and type in the school's website. Fast fingers lead me to the art contest tab. Can this loading bar go any slower? Finally, the page loads in and... oh, it looks like the submissions have been closed. What? I hold the phone up for Olivia to show her the page. The submissions have been closed since voting started last week. Oh. Sheesh, I thought Mr. Iadican had spooked me. Olivia's all seized up. Well, that's quite reassuring. With the submissions closed, there's no chance of any hacker messing with them. Hopefully she'll feel loads better when the preliminary winners are revealed. Speaking of which, as the bell sounds, the class begins to pack their things and Iadican corrals everybody into a single-file line. Alright, everybody, we have an assigned row, so stick together. Before I join the rest of the line, I look back at Olivia, who seems to be stalling. Come on, I'll walk with you. That seems to stir something in her, and she glances up to me while hastily shoving a notebook into her bag. Yeah, I'm coming. As we head out the door, I notice Olivia shuffling her hoodie a lot. Guts, 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 guts. It's not a long walk to the auditorium, and despite Iadican's best attempts, most of the class splinters off to sit with their friends. Having expected this, he shrugs and makes his way over to the back of the auditorium where the other teachers are. Olivia and I are left to the struggling crowd trying to filter into the cramped theater of the school. It's going to be difficult finding some seats. It's fine, I have a spot. Olivia wheels herself down to the pathway, which I follow suit. She heads down the aisle until we're at the first row of seats. There's a vacant spot where a typical seat would be with a faded handicap sign. Olivia parks her chair into the empty spot, to which I take the seat next to her. Best seats in the house, right? Can't complain. As the hall fills with more students, my anticipation rises. Oh man, I can hardly wait for the announcements. So, do you think I have a chance? Huh? Oh, maybe. Photography isn't super popular, but... Olivia folds her hands on her lap, staring straight ahead as her voice trails off. I knew that, but I'm still hopeful. Hey guys. I have to remind myself that this is normal. Hey Liz. I can't believe it's finally here. Gosh, I'm so excited. Me too. By the way, where's Damien? Hey guys! I'm over here! Damien is in the far back of the auditorium, yelling and waving his hands in the air to catch our attention. He's gonna get in trouble for that. Frills, sit down! Damien immediately stops and takes his seat. With tempered expectations, we both sit in silence for just a few minutes before Principal Scalar walks on stage and taps on a standing microphone. Okay, everyone, got a whole bunch of important announcements to make, so I'll make them quick so we can all have an early lunch. As soon as the idea of going for an early lunch is brought up by Principal Scalar, the entire room goes silent as vigil. I guess when it comes to an early lunch, it's serious business. Over the next 15 minutes, Principal Scalar goes over important events coming up within the school year. Olivia's face is great. Most I would consider standard things, like pep rallies for the sports teams or bake sales to fundraise for upcoming field trips, and even something about new clubs being formed, such as the Japanese Animation Appreciation Society. I don't particularly care for that joke. It's subtle, and I'm not gonna explain it, but yikes. Not the best acronym, if I had to say. Otherwise, it's all mostly boring housekeeping stuff, when one got right down to it. Almost wonder why such announcements warranted an assembly when the mood suddenly shifts with Scalar's next big announcement. Now that we've got the main stuff out of the way, I've saved the best announcement for last. St. Hammond is proud to announce the 5 semifinalists for the annual Fresh Start Art Contest. Cheers and applause roars loud enough to make my ears ring. Yet I'd be lying if I said I also wasn't excited for the reveal of just who had made it to the semifinals. Maybe I was giving myself a bit too much credit, but I really wanted to be among those semifinalists. I can almost taste victory. In fact, I turn to face Olivia and prepare to cheer alongside her, but I'm stopped in my tracks when I notice that unlike the rest of her peers, Olivia seems to be uneasy about the prospect. Almost scared, even. Before I can ask Olivia why her sudden change in mood, Scalar continues with her next words, cutting my train of thought off. And here we have the 5 semi-finalists. The pieces of the 5 skillful students who had beaten all the other competitors came up, followed by the names of the victors right above them. Alas, I see no photography submission in sight. At least I gave it a shot, right? Ah, man, I didn't make it in. Liz's neck droops down like a melancholy noodle. I can't help but feel pity for the bummed-out Brachiosaurus. Checking my phone, I see. Tell Liz to come back here, bro. I'm sure Damien's got that handled. Despite my sullied mood, I look back to the semi-final winners and can't help but be amazed by them. Each artwork is impressive in their own right, their colors blending wonderfully and the figures beautifully designed. It's easy to see why these were voted as the winners. The last one especially catches my eye. The scenic landscape with a setting sun looks stunning. If not for the slight stylization of the skyline and fantastical color palette, I could probably pass it off as a real photograph with some filters pasted over it. I'm no art critic yet, but if I were, I'd label it as a masterpiece, and easily the best out of all of them. Let's give our winners a big round of applause. The auditorium fills with the usual kind of clapping one would expect in an event like this. Polite with an underlying tone of disinterest, though one person felt compelled to constantly make a piercingly high whistle. We will be displaying the winners' art pieces in room 237. You're welcome to view them during lunch and after school today. Oh, neato. Principal Scalar continues the rest of the assembly, announcing the other events for the school and other minor reminders. Behind me, I see teachers start psyching themselves up for the Herculean task of getting some 200 hungry dinosaur teens out of the room and towards lunch without getting anyone killed. Principal Scalar finishes and waves back to them to signal it's time. All right, we're going to start adjourning to lunch. You all know how this goes, so no just going for the exit. Being in the first row, we're the first to get up. I follow behind Olivia until we make it to the hall. Hey, Olivia? She stops and turns a bit. Geez, is she still anxious about the sight thing earlier? She looks a little pale. I wanted to check out the winning paintings a bit more. Want to come along? She considers it for a moment. No, go on without me. I need to use the restroom. All right, I'll see you at the lunch table then. Olivia nods and starts off down the hall, following the flow of students towards the lunchroom. Let's see. The principal said it was room 237. How did you do the sound of the vibration? What, like this? You just kind of put your 2 front teeth together and make a Z noise? Neato, like incognito. First thing I notice walking into the classroom is the amount of people checking out the gallery. While I didn't expect it to be filled to the brim with eager students, there's a decent amount of people there, about a baker's dozen or so. Maybe more will come when they finish up their lunches. Well, I'm here now. Let's take a look at the lucky winners. The pieces are all set on easels in the back of the classroom. Some desks and chairs are moved closer to the front to give each one its own space. One by one, I take a moment to give each canvas a thorough review. The auditorium screen really didn't give the art justice because now I can really take in the detail of each one by being up close. The color palettes, the brushwork, the subtle nuances. Yeah, I can definitely see all of them having a good shot at getting first prize. But now it's time to see the one that I've been eager to get a look at since it was first shown. From what I recall from Mr. Iadican's lessons, it's made with acrylics, explaining why the colors of it seem more vibrant. It stands out in defiance to the other paintings in the contest, most of which were either violently absurdist and meaningless, or muted still lifes of ordinary objects. It's a meadow of mystifying colors, the organic lines drawing the viewer deeper into the piece, and I feel as though this would be a place I'd wake up to within a fantastical dream. There's no rigid structure or forced metaphors here, just a fantastical merger of creative expressionism and real-world beauty. I feel my fingers itching for the familiar weight of my DSLR. This is a piece that I want to immortalize in my portfolio. Holy crap, that is a lot of art critique yapping. It's hands down the winner of the contest in my eyes. I simply must find out who made this. It looks like this breathtaking show of artistic talents was created by semi-finalist winner Inko G. Nito, 12th grade. That's a problem. Ah, Inko, I'm glad you swung by. It looks like you're admiring the art contest entries. I told you that St. Hammond's artistic programs were unparalleled. That's not mine. What's not yours? I try to say more, but the words won't leave my mouth. Ben's eyes follow mine to the bottom of the painting in front of me, and I watch as he makes the same realization that I do. Inko, you didn't... Did you paint this? I had no idea your style was so developed, so humble. If I had known... That's not my entry. It's not? No, mine was a photograph. But what's your name doing on this one? It must be some kind of a mistake. A million scenarios come to mind. They must have got the wrong name somehow. If they did, I think the real artist would have come forward by now. Then the submission website must have been hacked or broken. But our school checks for stuff like that. If it was, we would have known by now. Then... Inko, you're sure you didn't submit somebody else's piece by accident? Of course I didn't. Why would I do something like this? You're the only one who can log into your account, Inko. Suddenly everything stops. My account. Did somebody... Look, relax, alright? We can get this sorted. Just don't panic. Ben lowers his voice. But Inko, just to be clear. What? You didn't just get a bit of extra help, right? Ben looks at me through the edge of his glasses, eye to eye. Would he be saying that that wasn't his painting if he did? There's some real stakes in this contest. Cheating is taken seriously. Especially fraud. Fraudco. The word echoes around inside me. Fraud. It makes my bones chill. There's ingenuine, faker, liar. They're all bad in different ways, but fraud is just dripping with frigid condemnation. No, I swear, I submitted a photograph. Ben relaxes his shoulders. All right, just making sure. Sorry to alarm you. It's perturbing how he can go from deadly serious to jovial like a flipped switch. You going to be all right? Sorry, I need some air. Hey, feel free. I'll let Scalar know, okay? Yeah, thanks, Ben. No problem. Take it easy. Ben offers me an earnest smile, waving at me as he steps out of the room and down the hall. After some time, I follow him, shambling down the hall as I try to make sense of what just happened. Incognito, anonymous, ambiguous, nondescript? I thought everybody actually liked my photography, but they all thought I was some kind of expert painter instead. I don't even know how to express it. I feel empty. I thought maybe my hard work was finally paying off, but... I submitted the right entry, so what happened? Did somebody change it? And if so, how? It's such a good piece, too. What even is there to be gained by putting my name on it? I wander aimlessly through the halls. The thought of missing lunch passes through my mind, but there's a different sort of emptiness pervading my stomach. Why is this rattling me like this? Man, it's not like I'm in trouble or anything. Ben's helping me sort this out. I'm at a loss of what to even think right now. Oh crap, Olivia mentioned something about server issues before. I couldn't see my submission, but... was it just that? And maybe Olivia was right to be worried. Well, duh. Why else would she be so nervous? My aimless walking leads me outside the principal's office in the gala. There's that one cityscape painting from the start of the school year. The very first painting I ever saw here, and still one of the best. A vibrant cityscape that morphs the rigid structure of urban planning into a soft and inviting utopia, as if viewed from the eyes of a child. The sky above the city is a beautiful shade of crimson, with radiant clouds clustered along its length. If the art contest submission was the best painting I've ever seen, then this one comes close. I could only imagine the accolades she must have gotten for painting this back then. You know, for a while, I got to have that experience. I got to step into the shoes of an artist much better than myself. Maybe that was the intent? All the praise, approval, everything I've been wanting? Just for a while, it was given by an anonymous stranger. Whoever that may be. Actually, this gives me a bit of an idea. If I'm clever and Olivia's up for it, this can be a cool way to get her to show off her painting more. Everyone would like that. Maybe that's what she needs. I could act as like a personal publisher for her so she doesn't have to deal with people. Wait a second. I peel down the empty hallway. I need to find Olivia. She couldn't possibly. But why me? Why would she... Thinking about it only increases my worries and desperation to find who I hope to Raptor Jesus isn't the culprit. I haphazardly check all of the places where Olivia could be, but can't find her anywhere. My hunt for the baryonyx leads me to the second floor of the atrium. It feels like there's a lead brick in the pit of my stomach as I internalize my current situation. The soft pattering of rain hitting the window grabs my attention to see a gloom-covered Volcadera outside. Non-E script, yeah. Generic. My eyes wander along the school's pathway, covered in mud thanks to the earlier rainfall. Wait a minute. Those look like tracks in the mud. Here we go. I actually haven't seen the correct version of this scene yet. I was watching Megan's playthrough. She's another... I think she's a PNG too. No, her sprite's animated. But I had to stop watching because I noticed she was making the right choices that I didn't make, and I didn't want to spoil myself. I burst through the main entrance doors, and I met with the feeling of droplets hitting my head. Outside, a dark overcast has rolled in. The forecast called for on and off rain during the day, but pretty gnarly clouds. Makes it look almost dusk around. Crap, what am I wasting time for? I follow the trail with urgency, fearing that the rain will wash it away. It looks like it goes down the whole pathway. I ignore my clothes becoming progressively damp and the water collecting on my shades. Eventually, I round the curve that leads to the bridge and see a distressing item at its end. A wheelchair. Olivia's wheelchair. Empty of the occupant, toppled on its side. A new fear grips at me, born from the mental imagery provided by that sight. Those cruel thoughts push me up the steps faster than humanly possible, even as my rational mind tries to reassure me. Running across the deck, my breath is caught in my throat when I reach the middle. She's on the ground, head slumped down. There's damaged and soaked school supplies scattered all over the walkway. Oh god, is she okay? My foot shifts, trying to force me closer. Slowly, her head lifts up to the sound of my shoes squelching on the floor. Inko? Her tear-stained eyes stare at me with a dead expression, and her voice sounds weak. Olivia, I feel like I can finally breathe again. Slowly, Olivia pushes herself up, and I notice that she's lying atop a pile of paper shreddings. Starby Lou. The feeling of relief slowly fades away, and I remember just why I was looking for her. We stay silent, only staring at each other as the rain continues to bear down on us. She simply sits there, letting herself grow more and more soaked from the rain. Do you want to talk? No, not out in the open. I grab my compact umbrella from my backpack and unfurl it. It doesn't do much to dry Olivia off, but at least she's not getting more soaked. The umbrella is placed between us and the elements against the ledge, forming a personal canopy above us. Here, now we're alone. There's space next to Olivia to take a seat. It's odd. We've sat together before, but sitting on the ground in the rain, and the room is just a little claustrophobic. There's bits of paper melted onto the pavement, soaked by rain. Though torn apart and waterlogged, I can sort of make out a tree, a rough sketch of one anyway, like the one that stood prominently in my false submission. So you did do it. Inko, please, I can explain. I didn't have a choice. You totally had a choice. What? I know what I did was wrong, but I didn't have it any other way. It wasn't a choice not to trick me? She avoids looking at me, focusing on the scraps of paper scattered about the floor like confetti. It wasn't to trick you, I get it, you're mad at me. I'm not mad. I'm just confused. I thought we were good friends. I wasn't expecting it, expecting you. She pauses, to give her throat some respite. Her usual water bottle isn't anywhere nearby. A shaky breath escapes her mouth. When you came around, I thought you were no different than the others. That you were some self-centered, pretentious midwit who only cares about his image. That's when I got the idea of using you to swap out your art with mine. You didn't seem like the kind of person who cared about how he gets the attention from others, just that he gets it. Her description of my character feels really reductive, but the ache in my chest tells me that it's a little too close to home. But that's not what I think of you now. Yatakan's the one person I can trust. So when he went to bat for you, saying we'd make good friends, I was worried. What's so special about this guy? I honestly got scared he'd be wrong. That you'd be just like everyone else and I'd be setting myself up for failure. But worse than that, Inko, I was afraid he'd be right and I'd have to face what I'd done to myself. And now I've gone and done something like this? Switching my contest entry? She nods, swallowing hard. I wasn't thinking. Suddenly, everything was out of balance. Everything I'd created, all my work, my own little world was suddenly changing and I had no control over it. I just had to do something. I didn't know I was doing that. I'm sorry. She stops to process my words and continues. I knew I'd get caught. It's stupid. I was hoping for it even. Someone to figure out that it was swapped so that it would be changed and everyone would be none the wiser. She turns to face me with silver eyes welled with tears. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. I just don't want to go back to being the person I used to be. The person who didn't care about hurting you. Her head tilts downward with a violent hitch of breath. Ivory claws extend and grip her knees in a painful display, and yet Olivia chokes back any sound that she'd make. Her body shudders with every heavy breath from her, and I realize that every last defensive barrier she had was completely gone. Olivia's laid herself bare, leaving only the crying girl desperately trying to silence her pitiful tears. But why do all this? I'm gonna hate myself for thinking this, but she still hasn't really told me why she did it. I don't want to push the issue too hard, but if not now, then when? I just want to know, why go through all this trouble? What were you trying to accomplish? I immediately regret my words as the pained grimace on her face drives home the mistake that she's made. Even if I'm in the right to ask, I feel like the villain for pressing her, but out of respect for Olivia's feelings, I stand steady because to back down would be to denigrate her like all those people in her past had done. I wanted to see what people thought of my art without knowing that I was the one who made it. Why would you want that? Isn't it obvious? It's always the same thing. Her voice takes a deeper pitch. Oh, wow, you're so talented in spite of your condition. This time it's a higher, shriller tone. Amazing, it's like you aren't disabled at all. Her voice returns, this time weighed down with contempt. For all their kind words, it always came back to those empty platitudes. I never felt like they cared about me or my interests. It was always just blind praise because I'm doomed to never measure up to the same level of expectations. The worst of it came when I found out I couldn't even fail on my own. The sound of her talons tearing more paper on the floor enhances her heated words. Even when I intentionally do something wrong, someone's always there to pick up after me or to assure me it's good in certain lights. She rips off more of the page with every sentence. These are just old sketches from the year. Nobody else has to live with that paranoia. That every positive word spoken and action taken to help you out is just someone acting out of obligation or insecurity. It got so bad at one point I was almost being forced to accept these freaking accommodations. I just ended up... She drops what little remains of the pages unceremoniously, cutting everyone out. I'm never gonna come out on top, and I'm never gonna be allowed to fail. Nobody's allowed to feel anything but pity for me when they meet me and guilt when they consider not giving me a free pass. Nobody has any agency, and that's just how things are. The bell rings from a distance, signaling the end of lunch. Within my mind, I can vividly imagine the sounds of our classmates grumbling complaints as they shuffle to class. Instead, I choose to listen to the rain, how the soft pitter-patter of droplets land atop my umbrella before slipping gently to the ground around us. Internalizing that sound alongside the dimmer ambience and overall wetness has turned the tiny park I'm accustomed to into a near-alien locale. I wonder to myself if this is why Olivia came out here. In a small way, all of her work seems to revolve around average places, but altered with unnatural and beautiful overlayings, creating from the familiar and yet adding in the fantastical. I look over to Olivia, who seems to be lost in thought. That does sound pretty tough. You going to be alright? No, honestly, that's only the start of it, but I don't want to. No, you wanted to know, right? I want to tell someone, anyone. Right now it's just Iatakan. I'm sure he's sick of it. Alright? This crap even affects my family. You say that like you don't think they are. They aren't, though. I can't change that. She sighs. You're right. I should be a bit more grateful to them, but at the same time, it's... like, I know all too fucking well I could just hang out at the Paynes for as long as I need after graduation. They're just too nice to not, and the arrangement with my actual father could probably last indefinitely. I could just detach from society and leech off everyone around me forever, and it'd still just be pity and guilt. But you saw them at the pool party. They love you. I know, and I hate it, and I want to love them back, but I just can't. Not now. I've already wasted so much. Who am I to suddenly turn around in my last year? I want to just get out of their hair, not waste their time anymore. Otherwise, I'll be the one hurting them, wasting all their patience and kindness for years like I already have, and I'd never be in the wrong. Who the fuck wants a free ride through life like that? And that's all I have waiting for me realistically. Damn it, why am I telling you all this? Olivia clutches her throat. Her voice has gotten strained and weak. It hurts to speak at all, but she's just been letting it all out. Hell, what am I doing just watching? I'm such an idiot. I rummage through the insides of my backpack again until... Ah, here it is. Pulling out a water bottle, I offer it to her. She eyes it on the ground indifferently and then goes to drink it. The whole bottle is finished in one go, and she drops it in the growing pile of trash. Thanks. I give a silent nod. She looks off into the distance again, picking up her train of thoughts. That's why I had to do it. I had to know if I was really good at something for once. Really, genuinely good. No false praise, no parasocial relations where I'm verbally filleted so everyone else can feel better for it. I had to know that my art was real. That I could be something, for real. That I have a real way out. Yatakan assures me all the time it's good enough. Fuck, why didn't I listen to him? He probably knows everything by now anyways. He usually does. Honestly, taking all of this in at once is challenging to digest, to say the least. You said you expected to get caught? Yeah, I said I wanted to be. I wasn't even sure other people would see it. If you caught it fast enough and switched it back thinking it was a bug, then you started getting all this praise out of nowhere. Yeah, I did. It seems a bit sad in retrospect. Yeah, around then it really settled in just how badly I messed up. I tried to get you to notice it by showing me the submission yourself. Then you just go to the office to get it changed, nobody would get hurt, end of story. But of course, you still had your own saved. You're always just so prepared for anything. She gestures to the crushed water bottle. The weeks go by, you get more praise, I get more nervous. Then today, and... Olivia's hands finally fell into her lap, limp and spent. Here we are. It's my turn to say something, I guess. I just don't know how to process all this. It's not like friendships come with instructions. My own thoughts are muddled, pushing me to find some way to comfort the girl before me. And yet to comfort her would be to demean her like people have done in the past. It's so confusing, and frustration and pity mix haphazardly in my stomach. It's nauseating. Pity for the girl before me that has wronged me, but not out of real malice. Frustration at myself because Olivia was right, having unveiled an uglier side of me I wasn't aware of. Let her fail! My thoughts land on what Olivia said earlier in the conversation. You going to tell Principal Scalar? Olivia flinches a bit. The principal? Why? About what you did. You said you expected to get caught. We can't tell them officially, anything but that. Olivia shifts uncomfortably in her spot. Why not? If they found out, it's all over. Isn't that a bit extreme? Honestly, it'd be the end for you, too. It's my turn to flinch. Olivia's getting worked up again. New fear starts spiking through her eyes. I don't need to ask. Olivia answers anyways. You didn't talk about it until now, after it's nearly guaranteed to win. With the stakes, it looked like you were complicit. Or worse, like it was your idea. You'd be a fraud. There's that word again. Fraud. No. That word, all over my record, in senior year, when I'm about to have to find a career, fraud. But even so, isn't it the right thing to do? I can handle it. Don't worry about me. Please, Inko, no. Gator hugged. There's more. I told you, I'm not eligible to even enter. I already won before. I got the notoriety and money. The winning piece is featured on the cover of Volcadera Monthly and even gets an article. That's more than a scholarship. It's a foot in the door. They can't do anything about the money. It's long gone, but if everyone knows what I did, and it gets to those magazines. She clutches the sleeves of her hoodie and stares me dead in the eye. I need it to graduate. I fucking hate it, but I need it. That's my only way out. My only way to actually go somewhere. You're putting all your eggs into that one basket? There's no other baskets. I just can't risk it. I know I just carried on about why does nobody let me fail, but this? It's serious. They can't know. Please, Inko. I can't lose everything over this mistake. I just can't. I can't. Fraud. God, not that. But isn't it? Olivia grabs the sides of my jacket and yanks herself close. The motion tips the umbrella over. It slides a few feet away in the breeze. It makes her almost lose her balance and fall over onto me. Her breathing is erratic. Inko, listen to me. Please, I can't lose this. I can't be doomed to be nothing. This is all I have. You can't go to someone about this, I'm begging you. She's tugging me towards the ground, closer to her, my jacket starting to tear. I can feel her anxiety by how her hands are quivering with fear as they grip tightly at my coat. It's my fault, okay? Not yours. You don't need to make it your problem. Please. Okay, nobody else has to know. It'll have to be our little secret. Olivia exhales and lets go. All at once, she slumps down. I have to hold out my arms to stop myself from falling, too. Olivia ends up slumped over my lap sideways. Hey, you okay? No, I'm really not. The Gator girl tries to push herself up from my lap. Her attempt only ended with her twisting on my legs and turning her face and chest upward. She must be really exhausted, as even her attempt to blow her wet hair from her face is unsuccessful. God damn it, is this what it's all come to? I got away with it, too. Fuck, I'm just like Ben. You have the energy to get up? Not yet. Olivia. What's wrong with Ben? How are you like him? She exhales hard. Ben. It's all his fault. All of it. If not for him, I wouldn't be this thing. Some worthless heap unable to do anything with nothing and nobody. None of this would have happened. This sounds like something that I shouldn't be prying into. You don't need to tell me. Yeah, I don't. But I did this to you. I should be honest. Can you get off my legs first? I'm starting to lose feeling. You too? No, confirmed. She does not have feeling in her legs. Fine. Can you help me up at least? I take Olivia's shoulder and help her back into her sitting position by me. She just leans back against my shoulder. Sorry, been a long day. Ugh, I need water now. Sorry, been a long day. I guess it's fine for now. Where do I even start? That Ben. I don't even remember how we became friends. Oof, 1 second. But we definitely hung out a lot in my last year of middle school. He didn't care that I was in the chair, didn't treat me any different. He was cool. What's the issue then? Olivia bops my chin with her skull. Let me finish. He was cool. But in freshman year, back then, Ben was only in the student council as a secretary. I was looking forward to that yearly art show. Worked all summer for the perfect piece, Dreamscape. Disdain was heavy in her tone as she said its name. Yeah, it won. It wasn't supposed to. Once again, her eyes were teary, though with rage this time. My mouth clicked shut as she glared at me. Her eyes closed, and her tone was once again sorrowful. Ben started advertising himself as my friend like it was some part of his own personality. The sigh that escapes her carries years of her repressed anger. Even his friends started doing it too, like being around me was an act of charity that made them better. He even told me straight up, I'll give him that. Her voice shifted again, but this time instead of a voice to lampoon someone, it was an eerie facsimile to Ben. I'm universally down on my luck. Not even a week later, people started walking up to give praise to my submission. It was the first time in a while I'd gotten a compliment on my work. I thought my submission was going to win. It was exciting, until Damien showed me an article in the school newsletter written by a certain student council secretary. Half of it was basic crap about the art submissions. The other half was about me. Ben had written the longest segment about the talented poor girl in the wheelchair and practically worshipped me for my determination. Surprise, surprise, it wins by a landslide. Even when my piece won, all I could remember was that feeling of just being handed a victorious charity. My whole summer, all that effort just overshadowed, and for what, a safety net that I didn't earn? He really thought I was going to thank him. That's the worst part, honestly. As if I would, after using me as a stepping stone to climb the social ladder. I couldn't take it anymore. I told him to get out of my life, and he just gave me this look. I'll never forget it. Genuine confusion, like I was an alien for being upset. But what he said, this is your only chance of succeeding out there. I wanted to just give it all up. But by then, the money, the exposure, his fucking safety net, I just took it. He was right. He was right, and I hate it. I really, really, really fucking hate it. So that's what's between Ben and Olivia. I figured it was something, but sheesh. This totally explains her attitude towards the person writing the article and ending too, good lord. And why she spent hours fighting them about it. After that, I just couldn't. I shut everything out, everyone out. Everyone was fake. Everyone didn't want to know me. Just what I exist as. Even my own family. Hell, it's all his fault. All of it. Well what? That's it. That's the truth. I just want to graduate and get away from here. From him. He ruined my life. Because of him, I'm not Olivia. I'm Olivia, the poor sad cripple. That title is forever fixed to my name. Come on, that's not true. You're right, it's not. You're Olivia. No, that's also not it. I'm not Olivia, I'm God's funniest joke. I nudge the umbrella back over to us. It goes back into its spot, propped up between us, recreating the canopy, shielding us from the elements. Olivia looks at me to gauge a reaction. That was the sort of speech given by someone that's had years to think about it and hold it in. And it was one she's been waiting to give anyone willing to listen, if she could just trust them. All her pent-up angst against the guy that ruined her life? Released at the moment, she just couldn't take it anymore. It can't get much worse than this for her, but she trusts me. What she needs to hear right now is... I promise I'll be a good friend to you. No. You can still take back the reins of your life and own your mistakes. I take my sunglasses off and lean forward, placing a hand on her shoulder. She takes a moment to register the new sight and looks right at me, anticipating whatever I'm about to say. You're not a joke, Olivia. I appreciate you trying and all, but it doesn't matter. The damage has been done. And that shit was what made me into a nihilist. I wouldn't say you're a nihilist, Olivia. Plus, I don't think that's what the word means. You still enjoy some things. Got a better word? Well, there you go. That's besides the point. Ben did something horrible, but he didn't take your agency. Are you saying that I ruined my own life? Is that it? Annoyance bubbles up within me as she argues back. She wanted to get caught in the act, yet Olivia looks at me as if I just spat in her face. Just what the hell are you getting at, Inko? What am I getting at? The fact that you can't keep using Ben's shitty choices as a crutch. Her breath catches. You need to take responsibility for your own life, who you are, and what you want to be. My words catch Olivia off guard, and they kept coming, unbidden now. You say that you're a nihilist, yet you draw these amazing pieces that reflect these realistic fantasy worlds, and you say that no one wants to know you for you, but you know you have the pains, Iadakan, Liz, me? Can you really blame any of that on Ben? Even the art contest. Ben didn't yank some evil string of fate and make you swap out the submission. You made yourself do it. I know it's hard, and I have trouble with this too, but please, for all of us. Take responsibility for your feelings, Olivia. Oh, shit. Damn it, mouth. My tirade has left Olivia staring at me, mouth hung open, aghast at what I had said. I hiss in realization and try to backtrack. Sorry, that was... Fuck you. Stopping completely, Olivia's head raises from my shoulder and she glares at me. Her eyes are heartbroken, they're enraged, they're looking for something to lash out at. But they're... trusting? Fuck you for being right. I know all that, damn it, and you're the second to say it. Her eyes water and her head returns to my shoulder. Damn it all, Inko. 2. I'm stunned as she presses further against me, even using her arms to tuck her legs closer. You and Iadakan had... Fine. You're right, but how do I start? I have no idea what I should do. Her voice sounds so weak, but there's a conviction hidden within it. Honestly, she should have just mauled me for what I said. It's what she wants. I can do this. Well, what do you think is wrong, right now? You'll have to be more specific. All right. What about Damien and his family? She hums in thought. And then there's Liz, too. All of them would probably like to hear your thoughts. Yeah. What would I say, though? Whatever you're feeling? Hell, just being more open in general would be something. I can feel her frowning, but also nod against my shoulder. Fine, what else? Mr. Iatakan? She scoffs. He probably already knows. What you're thinking? Yeah, he reads me like a book. But he'd probably like to hear you say it. Yeah, he would. And me too. You got your turn. You've told me just now, but I'd like to hear more about you. You're my friend. All right. Starting now. I can feel her rumbling growl before she sighs. I'm sorry, Inko. For all the shit that I've put you through since you got here. For being a really shitty friend. For you having to put up with me. I chose to be your friend, Olivia, so don't apologize for that. Olivia looks up at me through the corner of her eye. Ben can't take your agency, and you can't take mine. I'm choosing this. You're silly. Her words were strained, and not from a lack of water. The regret in her voice was raw, along with the honesty. Thanks. And I forgive you. And once again, silence. I fumble with my sunglasses, debating on whether I should bother with them, given the rain. Might as well, I guess they are prescription after all. We just lay back, listening to the patter of rain against our little tent. Just her and I, secluded from the world that's done so much to crush her. Man, she's really leaning against me. I crane my neck so I can turn and look at her. She looks so at peace now, even with the smeared mascara and wet hair. I'm starting to lose feeling in my arm, though. And watching her like this is... Was that a snore? I guess she would be pretty tired. It's been a long day for both of us, even if it's only fourth period. Did I do all right? Things turned out pretty okay, but I'm anxious. The best I can do is be there for her. In this case, it's letting her have my shoulder for a bit, pressed up against me. My eyes slide closed, and I try to lose myself in the pitter-patter of the rainfall. Oh my god. Olivia jerks herself up and starts coughing into her wrists. Fuck, how long? About 5 minutes, probably. Jeez, sorry. You know, I remember when you got onto me for just sitting near you back at the party. Shut up. It looks like you are improving a bit. Olivia bonks the umbrella, making it splash a bit onto me. Hey. Anyway. Olivia stretches her arms. Things go quiet again. Olivia finally breaks the silence. I know you say you forgive me and all, but I still feel like shit for putting you through all of this. Now everyone's gonna expect you to be skilled at painting. They'll call you a fraud. Oh yeah, I was trying not to think about it. Damn it, it's all my fault. Olivia rests her arms over her knees, and I'm surprised that she manages to bury her long snout in them. An idea hits me. What if you taught me for real? Olivia raises her head from her arms. Taught you? Painting, for real. It's like you say, I have expectations to fulfill. Would you teach me how to paint like you do? I don't know. Tell you what, I'll forgive you if you teach me. You already said that. Olivia looks down in contemplation. All right. I'll teach you how to paint. But you should know I'm a lousy teacher. You've seen my work in class. I'm a lousy student. I've got a feeling that it'd work out. Hey, don't make it weird. Yes, Professor Halford. Stop making it weird. I chuckle as I'm playfully shoved by her. After that, after everything was said and done, things became quiet. Beneath the solace of my umbrella, we relax together. At least until Olivia begins shifting uncomfortably. I sit and watch as she takes her calves and shifts them... Calves. And shifts them to her side with one hand. Her tail comes around and presses into the paper-filled floor before her, keeping her upright as she starts to lean forward. Finally, with the strength of her tail in one arm, Olivia lifts her hips up from the floor and swings her shins fully beneath her. She smiles as she kneels over me. You just gonna sit there? Crap, I guess I was gawking stupidly. But it's just so fascinating seeing the girl maneuver herself in these odd yet well-practiced ways. I'm kind of jealous, actually. I wish I had a tail to do some of the things that she could. I press my hands down on the floor and push myself up. I don't know why I had thought to stand, but instead I shifted myself into a kneeling position, too. We're face to face now. 3. For a split second, I feared the worst as Olivia drew me into a hug. I don't know what she would do, but this, I like this. For how strong her arms are, how they're wrapped around my chest feels exceptionally tender. My own arms have enveloped her, returning the embrace in a similarly soft way. And as her arms loosen, I draw back, though I don't want to take my hands off her. That was nice. Don't make it weird. Sorry about that. Though the sound of rainfall hitting the umbrella, through the sound of rainfall hitting the umbrella, my ears suddenly pick up the noise of what sounds like squeaking. There he is! I look down and see there's something shuffling in Olivia's pocket. Yeah! My man, Guts! Okay, I gotta catch up on chat a little bit. I didn't want to interrupt that entire thing because it was very serious. Let's see. The letter fail choice was the one choice that prevented you from getting ending 4 on your first try. Hey of Nightmare, good to see ya. Yeah, I failed quite a few choices. Back was off helping your dad prepare dinner. Did you miss the hidden scene of Inko and Olivia making hot, passionate love? Yes, you did. Damn it. Hug counter 2. Mascara? You always saw her as a tomboy. It doesn't even really look like she's wearing mascara, to be honest. Olivia's not a nihilist. She's just depressed and self-hating. Only a bitter little adolescent could confuse realism with pessimism. From Flex Mentalio, a man of muscle mystery. That's a good quote. Hug counter 3. This series is one of the best moments in the games. You forgot how long that conversation goes? Yeah, that was a long one. A little beast emerges from its hiding spot with a squeaky yawn, to which Olivia offers her hand for it to use as a platform. Hey, little guy. Nearly forgot about you. Had a nice nap? That's a rat. Oh, right. You two haven't met each other, Inko. This is Guts. Guts, meet Inko. Oh, hi, Guts. I awkwardly wave at the apprehensive-looking rodent. He is the best boy. Olivia lifts Guts to her shoulder gracefully, like her hand is an elevator for him. You brought him to school? Well, yeah, I just really needed him today since, you know, all the crap that's happened. Oh, now it looks like she's wearing mascara. Huh. She gives Guts a few scritches under his chin. I bring him sometimes when things get rough. And nobody noticed? You haven't. Touché. Yatakan did once. He just told me not to let him run around the school, otherwise it would be considered a health hazard or something. Foreshadowing. The tardy bell rings out in the distance. We're late for our next classes. I'm sure Yatakan will understand. We should probably get back to class. Here, hold this. I give Olivia the umbrella so she and the rat can stay dry while I go and fetch the wheelchair. By now, it's settled some into the mud. This wheelchair has definitely seen better days. Scout Waffle, are you late? Well, I was gonna actually end it soon, Scout. I'm sorry. It's been like 3 hours. I need to, like, figure out a good time slot to ideally get everybody who's interested in seeing this able to view at the same time. After dusting off the dirt and pooling water the best that I can, I make my way back. A wizard is neither late nor early. He arrives when he intends to. A waffle is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Thanks. She offers the umbrella back, but I make sure to hold it above her. I keep the wheelchair steady with one hand as Olivia climbs into the seat, using her tail to help herself up. Duh. We stand in the rain, in silence for a moment, only sharing content glances. So, what do we do about the contest now? That's a good question. Ben was there when I saw my name on the painting. He already went to tell someone. So, like you said, no harm, no foul. What about your own submission? I ruined it. I scratched the back of my head. It wouldn't have won anyway, it's just a picture. Oh. I thought it was pretty okay. Hearing those words from Olivia sends a strange flash of heat to my face. You could have watched the first hour, but you got the notification too late and had to go to your piano lessons. That's fine. It's important to, like, go to lessons and stuff. Also, piano's a really cool thing to know how to do. It's not unpleasant, but again, those honest words from her really do cut through me for some reason. Thanks. A loud squeak draws my eyes to Guts as he stands up atop Olivia's shoulder. You too? A wry smile stretches across Olivia's face. I think it means Guts is saying it's actually so-so. Hey! Cut him some slack, Guts. Inko didn't have any time to make anything for the contest. He's got some high standards. Yep, it's why I've gotten so good. The sheer absurdity of it. I don't know which of us broke first, but our laughter fills the air, heard only by us as the rainfall cuts off all other noise. So, now what? I don't know. I don't want to go yet. Still pretty worn out. Worn out? A smile crosses my face as a wicked idea comes to mind. Well, too bad. What? I walk around behind Olivia, grinning like a mad idiot. Inko, what are you doing? Inko? Inko. Her head tries to follow me as I stand right behind her chair. I figured that pushing your chair around is really tiring, so how about I help you out? Olivia blushes and looks away. Fine, but just for today. Returning to the campus was certainly awkward. Passerby shoot us looks. It's not the most common scene to see a girl in a wheelchair just rolling, sopping wet, tracking mud in. More likely, though, it was because said girl had taken to using my umbrella to hide herself from those looks. She was already extremely red in her face. It was a conundrum. Drop the umbrella and let people see her, or keep up and draw more attention. You got a long way to learn till you can... Oh. Gonna learn Fang music on it, more like Lucy's. You got a long way to go until you can learn some of those. You do play the bass pretty well, though. You did try to learn the song that's playing right now, but you can't. I don't want to go regenerates into Matt Smith. Aw, man, that takes me back. I shall name it the Nito Theorem. She's gonna kill me if I ever attempt to publish it. And yeah, you could probably find, like, simplified sheet music for all of the songs in these games. And it just takes practice. That's the only difference between being able to do something and not. That's the hard part, though. But making our way back to Olivia's current class, she simply shook her still-concealed head. I didn't really have much of a choice. From all that I knew of the girl, her last classes were all in the upper levels. And she was in possession of the elevator key. And I was in possession of the weakest knees here in St. Hammond, at least according to Coach Solly. So I wheeled her to my current photography class. On the way over, she keeps bending her head back to peek at me, like she's making sure I'm still there. Knocking on his closed door, the pterosaur professor didn't even bat an eye at the poorly hidden girl. He simply stepped aside and let us through. Ben was looking our way, but I chose to pay him no mind. After everything I heard, Olivia didn't even register he was there. She simply rolled herself to the back of the classroom and through a door into what I'd always guessed was Yatakan's supply closet. You know what? I'm an idiot. It's a dark room, isn't it? The stares of my other classmates abated, thankfully, as our teacher continued his lecture. Taking my own seat, I focused on Yatakan. As much as I could, at least. My muddled thoughts kept me distracted the whole period. Just before the bell rings, Yatakan stares me dead in the eye. He points a stern finger directly at me, and then to the floor to signal, "You, stay." Alright, I think this is a good place to stop for today. Sorry that you had to miss it, Scout. You would practice the piano more often, but you've got a live gig with the bass, so you're currently more focused on that. Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations! Alright, thank you very much to everybody who showed up. It's always great seeing you guys in chat. And if any new people are still here, thank you to you too. I'm going to be ending stream now. I hope you all have a good night, or morning, afternoon, whatever part of the world you're in. See you next time.